Well, welcome to the Friday night Zoom meeting. We do this every Friday and Monday, 7 o'clock Central. If you'd like to be a participant in this, all you have to do is be a member on Stunt Hangar and go to At the Bench, and that's where the link is posted. It'll have the passcode and everything, so you can come in and ask a question or whatever. Or if you'd like to call in, there's a list of call-in numbers that you can use. I got the flap pretty much ready to go tonight. We're gonna sand it out and start priming it up. Let's see here. We need to get on let's see, do we have any sound? Let's see here. We need to get, yep, we got sound. Alrighty, so we're back to the screen. Normally it's Gary Sinclair that comes in first, but he has been a few exceptions. Bob Hunt has made his way in before anybody. We got about 8 coats of dope on this, 4 on the bare wood and 4 on the Japanese tissue. And we're going to shoot a few coats of primer on it and sand between each coat and get it ready to go. Now this is just using primer is just a fast way to do this job. The correct way to do it is with no primer, but I don't want to spend a million years sanding all this stuff, so just, when I lost DC 540, that was kind of a setback because that was good stuff. It was light and it dried quickly, sanded easily. Well, this U-pole is, I should put that on my Amazon page for you guys to find easy. I can do that here when somebody comes in and I take a break from sanding. I'll put the primer I use on my Amazon page. But to be honest, you can get it from AutoZone cheaper. Or I can anyway. I would imagine that all AutoZones are universal prices, but I know Harbor Freight is that way. If you paying $10 for something at Harbor Freight, here you're going to pay $10 in another place, in another state. But I don't know about AutoZone. I'll be able to tell you how much weight this thing gained in finish because it started out at 8/10, which I should have done in grams, but how do you know when you're done standing clear? Well, it turns to a frost. It gets a milky color on it, and that's when it's perfect. Let's see. Daniel Berry Sports, yo! Pop this chat out and close this or minimize that window. Hey, Tony, thank you. Okay, so I got the chat to the right here. Still can't see how many people are watching this. I know that a whole lot of guys depend on Friday night hangouts. Well, we're about a quarter of the way there on our I need to post it on Stunt Hangar. Okay, good. I thought I did. Let's see here. New topic. I didn't. Post. All righty, there you go. You're on Stunt Hangar now and at the bench. No wonder why it took 5 minutes. Link is posted up on Stunt Hangar. Looks like the twister build is on again. Was given a twister wing today to replace the twisted twister wing that I built. I'll be giving that away at Brodax. Just basically like I gave away the flight streak. Hey Gary.
Hi. I couldn't get on there. Okay. Now we're sitting.
Well, that's all right. You're here now. You're only 6 minutes late.
Yeah. Well, I got your website. Your link wasn't there, so I closed it down, opened it up again.
Yeah, my fault. No big deal. Nothing.
No.
I had it already done. I just didn't push the button.
Was that what was that? Okay. Oh,
Had her done.
there you go.
What the heck happened to the blue paper? Hmm. I didn't set it over there. That's 180. That's 80. That's 400. Hmm. I don't know. This is 400. I don't want to. Oh, there it is. It was hiding behind the dope can.
Well, there's a concave thing on your trailing edge in there that your flap goes into.
But here
Yeah. No, on your plane.
on the plane,
Yeah, the trailing edge on the wing.
this is not a wing. This is a flap.
Yeah, no. So it's got the outside and the other's inside.
Yeah, this is the
Concave.
outside.
Concave, and that one there is kind of out rounded. And then they go together, right?
Yep,
Yeah. Okay.
they
I
go
thought
together.
so, but I just
They go together like this.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's right. Yeah, I remember you.
We don't use no stinking hinge tape. I hate hinge tape.
There's your blue sandpaper.
What's that?
There's your blue sandpaper.
Yeah, I got it.
He's looking for. Yeah.
Hiding behind the dope can.
Daniel Berry Sports is on with us. Says happy Friday, and
Yeah.
Tony,
Yo!
Tony Dallas says light given. So
Well, you just happened tonight. I got the chat open. I got it popped out, or I wouldn't have seen that you
oh,
wrote
right.
in
Okay. I
chat.
wondered if you. Yeah.
I wonder if I can show this on camera. When do you start? Can you see how shiny that is? Let's see. Not really. There it is.
Right there's a bit. It's shiny there. Yeah.
Okay.
Get your
Now
reflection
you
right.
want to sand till it's creamy, till it's milky. Here comes Carl.
Hey, Sparky, how are you this evening?
Good.
Hey, I got a question for you. Just a simple question.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Um, I was
What?
watching one of your videos that you a
You're
lightweight
cut,
epoxy, the two-part, the
you're
blue
cutting
stuff.
out too bad, Carl.
I was
I don't
watching it.
understand you.
Oh, great. Here we go again. Is that is that better?
Well, can hear you, but go
Yeah.
ahead, ask.
Yeah.
I was watching a video that you put on YouTube on Stunt Hangar about 3 years ago about using the epoxy two-part, the blue stuff that you get from Wix aircraft.
Yeah, super Phil.
Yeah, the super pill. Excuse me. That's what. Thank you. Um, what's the difference between the product you use and the product that Brodeck sells?
Nothing except what I use is cheaper. The same stuff.
Okay. All right. That's what I wanted to know. All right. That's it, buddy. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's $50 for a quart or $30 or whatever Brodak charges for 2 ounces.
Yeah.
The same stuff. They
I
take
see.
it out of one container, put it in another, put a label on it, and that's it. Hey,
Okay.
Stiletto.
Okay. And is Wix aircraft still in business?
Wix aircraft? Oh yeah.
Okay. Hey, Gary. How are you this evening?
Good.
Good.
Yep.
Hey, I haven't forgotten about my picture.
Okay.
I just got to
I'm,
decide what was that?
I'm waiting.
Okay, I just got to
Got
decide
some of
what
them done.
plane.
So
I just got to decide which plane I want to get photographs and send to you. Um, hey, do you have well, I'll text you anyway. Never mind. I just
yeah.
realized a couple of days ago that you don't have my new address, so I got to text that to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But anyway.
Okay, everybody, you can see the difference and see how shiny this is here.
Yeah.
See how milky it is here. You want it to look milky with no shiny spots in it.
What grit are you sanding it with?
320. I don't sand down any
And
lower.
what is it that you're sending?
I don't sand down any lower than 320 until after the top coat of clear is on. Then I go down to
Oh.
1,000, 1,500.
So is that what you're
320.
sending off now? It's a clear?
I'm sanding off the base coat clear, yes.
Okay.
Wow.
And we're gonna prime this because it's easy and shoot it tomorrow. Shoot it white tomorrow.
What color primer do you use?
U-Pull.
Say what?
U-Pull. It's the only primer that works besides DC 540, and I ain't no
Can't
more
get
of
it.
that.
Where do you get U-Pole?
Amazon. Oh, there we go.
UPOL primer. Okay. Sandable primer. Is that in your store?
I'll put it in there. I need to put that in there.
I tried that other stuff from Napa. And my little ringmaster, there's places you can see it looks like it's getting dirty. It's not getting dirty. The dang primer's coming through the white paint.
Well, this stuff here, and I'm not going to call and ask them if they're going to discontinue it, because that's what I did with DC 540 and shit. It wasn't 2 years later they discontinued it. This stuff here works exactly the same as DC 540. It just doesn't dry as fast.
Okay. I can deal with it drying a little slower. I usually give it an hour or two anyway.
DC 540 would dry in
10
5 minutes.
minutes. Yeah.
And I used to think it was the xylene that was in it that made it do it, but I don't believe that to be the case. And I'll tell you why. Because after doing some research, they use xylene to thin epoxy and to thin enamel. So that's not a very hot thinner.
Well, we also use xylene to soften up the tires on race cars. Treat the rubber and soften it up.
I guess that's the plasticizer that they're using. I think, the acetones and even ketones are very mild compared to lacquer thinner and acetone. Toluene and that stuff, toluene is like lighter fluid. It's nothing. Beautiful. It didn't take too long to sand it out either. Hey, bud. Hey, we got a super chat. That came
good.
from
All right.
Roy Lane. Thank you, Roy.
Roy Lane, yeah.
There's Santa Claus making his rounds early.
Yeah.
I was, ain't I?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing great. You're supposed to be playing somewhere tonight. You're always playing somewhere on Friday night.
Not always. Tonight I'm not.
Well, that's pretty good.
That
You
was a
get to
week
see
ago.
Santa.
A week ago, I was kicking back in Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know,
Yeah,
you have to come back to reality at some point.
Carl and I got to meet. He was my scribe for Saturday.
Yeah, heard about that.
Yeah, he
Hey,
learned a
John.
lot. How you doing?
Good. Hey, you know that phone number you gave me?
Yeah,
I tried calling it and it wouldn't go through for some reason.
my phone number.
Yeah. So are you gonna be on the after party?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you about it then,
Okay.
if that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to see some good flying there that weekend there, Carl.
I did, especially when I was walking around with you trying to keep up. You move pretty good for an old man.
It's amazing I didn't fall down. I almost fell down a couple times.
Yeah,
Hey,
I was concerned about that, but
hey, Carl, Santa gets around the
yeah,
world in one night. I mean, why you worried about one day?
yeah, but he's got what, 12 reindeer and a thing called a sled that he rides in. So
Well,
where he gets his exercises is going up and down the chimneys, right?
You
yeah,
got that right. Oh, you got to
You,
realize that sleigh is, max 4 times light speed. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you got extra reindeer trained just in case something happens?
no, darn it, and that's a big
Yeah.
problem.
yeah.
yeah. I like the problem I had last year. The SR-71 kept trying to poke up his butt.
Well,
Kept trying to catch
that's
him and
why
getting awful close.
I need to get a couple of PA 75s or some those 43 was it 43 millimeter electric motors, big ones.
Yeah, 45 millimeter. Yeah,
Yeah, 45
that's what I'm
millimeter.
using. 40, 40
Three or
see,
four of those stuck
42.
on the
You're right.
back of it.
42, 4250. That's right.
Four or five of those stuck on the back of the sleigh will get it there.
That'll give you all the extra push you need.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Well, if your sleigh flies that fast, it means you get a quick nap, don't you, in between houses or in between countries?
And not much of one. Blink your eyes and I'm there. Here, Joe, I know you had a good time at the contest you went to, but we
Oh
sure
my
missed you
goodness,
there.
El Dorado was awesome. We had a great time.
Oh, I know you did, but we sure missed you at Vegas.
Oh, well, we had our own little Vegas at El Dorado, okay?
I know, but
It was a good time.
it sounded like it was. Tell us a little about it.
Well, we had I don't know how many pilots were there. Sunday for the expert, we had Doug Moon, Steve Moon, Joe Gilbert, Perry Rose, Ronnie Thompson, uh, Jason Greer, Chris Rigotti, Mike Scott. There was 10 experts on Sunday.
Wow.
We had a good time. It was the whole weekend. It's about the people, man. The competition's awesome, but the people are better, y'all. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
You got one or two in there that I've met that are party animals.
Well, Friday night, Mike and Peggy had a great chili and bean supper, and it was
That's
it's just so fun to visit everybody, y'all. It's just
yeah.
and there's a good crew there, a good crew. We
Yeah,
had a
sounds like
great
it.
time,
Sounds like it.
and Vegas was awesome. I no doubt, I get it.
Yeah, we not only had about 10 experts there, but about six of them or seven of them were past Nats winners and world champions. Those first top 4 or 5 places were tough.
El Dorado had one Nats champion named Doug Moon.
Doug Moon is there, yeah.
we can't compete with. You had Fitzgerald and Walker and Arestas. That was 3 national champions and world champions at Vegas. Vegas is a great contest. I'm not going to deny that. It's just 1,000 miles from my house.
Yeah, I understand that. Most any contest I have to go to except Vegas here is somewhere between 800 and 1,000 miles or more
You're
away.
you're a long ways. Gordy did good at Vegas. I was proud of Gordon.
Gordy did
Is
excellent.
is he on tonight?
Not yet.
Not
He'll
yet.
probably be on later. Gordy, when he got there, he wasn't going to fly. He just brought his plane for Brent to fly in, I think he's flying it in 70s.
In
But he
30.
wanted to be in the run for what is it, for
Appearance
Concourse.
judging. Yeah.
appearance, yeah, for concourse, and to do that he had to fly it. So he
I
decided.
give Britt Williams kudos. They did well, dude. It was perfect.
Did you see that video?
I did.
Brent?
I did. I saw Britt. Yes, Britt helping him fly. I
Brent's
saw
big enough to
Arestas
haul him
fly it.
around.
I saw David fly it. Dude,
Yeah.
the airplane Gordon had is one well trimmed airplane. Y'all pay attention.
Well, you got that right.
Hey, one
That's an
thing,
Apteryx, is what it is, and it's painted up like a Japanese Tony, just to make it different and stand out. It sure shows up well though in the air.
I just don't know that I'd want. I don't know that I could sit there and judge Orestes and David and well, just those 2, but there's 4 of them in the top that
Paul and Chris Cox.
I mean,
Howard
Chris
Rudd,
Cox,
Paul
Jim
and
Josh.
Chris Cox, yeah, and
Jim
Paul
Hawkins.
Walker wasn't
how
there.
did oh, I can't think. I'm trying to think of. But anyway, those 4 guys you could throw a napkin over. I mean, dadgum. They're
Well-
all so darn good. I mean, which one of them misstepped or burped
Well, there were
at
a
the
lot of
wrong time
little
or something?
missteps, little things, when you're dealing with those guys, you got to watch it really close.
Real close, yeah.
Yeah, because
I was
know,
watching a
that-
tape of Orestes, and he is a machine.
yeah,
Who won,
they'll
by the
bounce
way?
a bottom or something. They'll, they're just little things, little thing.
I saw a couple.
Orestes
There was
doing-
a couple times with one of the guys that looked. I thought their bottom was a little low, and then they corrected it. But
that happened.
I mean, yeah. And Joe, I got one for you, buddy. When you're doing your square, I mean, we've been giving a couple people a hard time when they fly on here. You were publicized. You were well publicized doing a square 8, and when you do your square 8s, when you're on getting ready to do the down leg, you go up before you go down.
That's a bad thing.
Yeah, it is a bad thing. I thought somebody ought to tell him because I doubt he knows it. I think you're doing it to slow the plane down, but
You should.
I mean, it
don't
shows
mean
big
to.
time. It shows big time, and then it rushes you when you start your down leg. It don't look square. It comes down and makes a big smooth pull out instead of a square. It looks like a loop bottom of a loop.
Well, one of the guys in the top 5 there, he was doing something I'd never seen done before. At the top of the 4-leaf clover, when you make that first turn to go in that first, what is it, 3/4 of a loop, he'd hit that first turn, and it was a noticeable hard. It was almost like a hard bang in there instead of bringing it around smooth. And he did it. He did it on both of the top parts of the hourglass, and so he lost points on that.
Caroline, I made coffee.
When you're judging and watching, if you're watching from the pits and you're trying to decide who won a contest, you're wasting your time.
Yeah,
Unless you
that's
go
the
in
truth.
position and you get a pencil in your hand and a paper in your hand and you judge that score. Watching from the sidelines and picking the winner is very difficult, in my opinion.
Well, I tell you what, at
Look-
one of the contests I went to, I thought I thought the year before the judging was a little ridiculous, and I went and judged it. I went and grabbed a piece of paper and a pencil and wrote down all the maneuvers, and I went and judged it myself. And I didn't have the numbers that they had. Not anymore. I'm a lot tighter judging, especially old time, than they were. But the same person would have won.
There you go.
Yep. Yeah, I saw some undersized. It seemed like, and in fact, at one point, the the thermals were going through so fast that we couldn't move fast enough around the outside to always be perfectly downwind. And so sometimes we're just far enough off that we could see the angle between the lines and the ground. And it was like, it wasn't 45 degrees, it was lower than that. And so based on that, there were some points lost.
Yeah.
You know, me walking around with John for the first time at this event, and not knowing anything, I sure learned a few things. And what iPad just said is true because I've done both. I was on the sidelines all these years, and then when I walked around with John, I go, "Oh, that's the reason why they got a couple points deducted, and so on and so on." So it was a learning experience.
Yeah.
Very
You got to
much
watch
so.
Santa. You got to watch Santa Claus because he's been around long enough. He's forgotten more than some of us know.
I'm sorry I'm laughing on that, but I got the wool pulled over your eyes.
Now you may not can fly like Paul Walker, but you know where to look for the mistakes.
Well, well, there's a couple people right on this thing here taught me a lot over the years.
Yeah. I tell you who taught me a lot, really. I mean, he pulled me aside at Brodak and he says, "You keep doing the same thing every time and you're losing points. And if you'll listen, I want to tell you how to score better." And I walked over to the side with him. It was Big Art.
Yeah.
And he told me some things I was doing. He says, one of the things he said was your overhead eights. He said, you're supposed to come into, it's supposed to be just like a horizontal, except over your head. And he was fussing because we've always gone into it over here on the right and come up through the center and come around that way and ended right there and come around. Well,
That's a lazy eight.
Art does it over here and come behind him. I said, Art, draw that on the ceiling, then turn around with your back to it and look and see what you got. It's the same maneuver. We just started over here, facing over here instead of facing back there. He said, well, you're losing points. I said, it shouldn't because the maneuver is the same. And he thought about that for a minute. He says, it doesn't really specify which way you go into it. I think the new rules do, but I'm not sure. I'll have to read them again. But Art taught me a lot at VSC, and then at Brodak, I went up and asked him a couple of questions. And we had a little small like a judging school, but it was to tell me what to look for. And that was the first time I'd won Brodak. I won old time that year. And I don't know. Big
Bill,
Art could teach you a lot quick. Yeah.
I agree with you, but as far as I can remember, the rule book's been pretty specific. When you come up this way doing the overhead, you got to do the inside first. So there's only one place.
No,
That's right.
That's modern.
No, it's
That's
always been that way.
No, that's modern. Old time stunt's not the same.
Oh, old time. Okay. My mistake. I didn't realize we were
No
talking
problem.
about old time.
Now, the dumb thing I did, one of the first big contests I was in, I tried to do a vertical 8, and I did a modern vertical 8 in an old time maneuver. Oh boy.
That won't work.
Tom Morris come over and he chewed me good for that one.
That's why you walk so funny.
Yeah. Yeah. When Tom spoke, I listened because I had a lot of respect for that man. But anyway, still have a lot of respect for that man. But anyway, Big Art was a guy. I don't know. I don't think I ever saw him fly. in all the years and all the stuff I heard about him and everything, I know he flew at Tucson. He flew a Joker, but I never got to see him fly. And it really ticked me off because I wanted to watch Art fly. But man, he could pick your pattern apart and tell you where to pick up 30, 40, 50 points quick because he did it.
I remember a contest where he was teaching or helping guys learn how to trim and how to fly and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Some guy came with a ringmaster, and hear this, Joe, this you'll like this. Came with a ringmaster and wanted to get it trimmed where it fly. Well, he had the controls real fast on that darn ringmaster, like the old days, 45, 50 degrees up and down. And Art took it out, flew it, brought it back, cut off half of the elevator, just cut it off. Took it out, flew it, so that's a whole lot better. That was his trim solution.
That's not a ringmaster anymore.
I know.
You know what I don't understand is when Gordy was on here the other night, he was talking about Vegas. Fitzgerald flew his airplane and said what he would do is widen the spacing out on the handle, make it 6 inches or better.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that do the same thing? It's going to make it react quicker.
Well,
It lets you get off quicker is a secret.
That's the point.
yeah.
With a smaller spacing on the handle and a given balance point, you have to move the handle further away to get the turn, and then when you come back, it's a further travel back, and you get it to stop before it goes past the point of the lock and goes up. Let's say you're doing a square loop pullout.
Yeah,
and
I
you
got
get
you.
a control, and the airplane turns before you can get back to neutral. The airplane's overturned. So when you open the handle spacing with a given balance point, it's not going to be more touchy. It's just going to enable you to get back to neutral quicker.
Well, I'm going to try it in the morning. I've been flying at 4.5 inches.
And the reason I'm chiming in on that is because about 4 years ago, David called me up and asked me if he could borrow my Crossfire to fly at Flushing Meadow Park at a contest. I said, sure, So he took it out and he flew it. He said, flies great. He said, but can I make a change? I said, it's your airplane. Fly it like you stole it. So he said, I want to open the handle spacing like a half an inch, quarter inch on each side. I want to add a tiny bit of nose weight. I mean, like a quarter ounce. Do whatever you want. So he did that. And I was supposed to judge that day, but I didn't realize they had me judging advanced, not expert. So he had already changed my airplane. And then I asked Joe Daly, can I enter? He said, yeah, sure, you can enter. Then it dawned on me after I entered, David had changed the airplane. And I was going to have to fly Cold, an airplane that I had never flown in that trim. And it flew way better for me than it did before. So he
Did he beat you with your own airplane?
Well, I beat him one round. He beat me the other round. But, hey, listen, it's Dave Fitzgerald, and it's a good flying airplane.
Look,
Yeah.
David can fly, y'all.
No question.
Oh, yeah.
No question.
Seeing David come to Tucson with a ringmaster with a Vico 19, and he did respectable.
Yeah. The point being, not who won that day or what. The point being, he showed me something that I hadn't thought about. And then he explained it to me about, the travel on the handle. The feeling's not going to be that much different as far as the sensitivity, but you'll get back to neutral quicker after you turn, and the airplane won't overturn while you're getting back to neutral.
100% right.
Well, I'm going to try it in the morning and see. I opened mine up.
Robbie's handle is out to 7
Going up to
inches.
6.
My son Robbie has his handle out to about 7 inches now, and he flies
Wow.
with the balance point someplace about mid-tail wheel.
Wow.
Oh, the reflexes of youth.
How about it? Well,
It's
he's
just-
not that young anymore. I don't know how old you think he is. Everybody keeps remembering him as 12 years old. He's 48.
Well, he's still, compared to me, a youth.
When you got a wrist movement,
That's right. My
can't
daughter's
move that-
44. Okay.
you can't move the lead out 2 inches and get back off.
That's right.
That's the bottom line.
Yep. Totally agree. Now, having said that, one thing I found, and Paul Wall and I got talking about this a bit. He does the same thing really, but he said the other thing you need to do when you open the handle that far, you're going to need to put in a little bit of overhang, a tiny bit of overhang to dampen it because
That lets your neutral be better for level laps.
so I'm not talking about half an inch. I'm talking maybe 3/16 of an inch.
3/16 a quarter.
Yeah.
How do I add overhang?
What's that?
How would you add overhang?
Move. You have should have an adjustable handle where you can move the point where the line's attached to the handle out a little bit from where the
That's
center
correct.
of your wrist is.
If you want to see what it really
Handles.
like, get you some key rings and hook your eyelets to the key ring and put it on this finger and put your key ring on that finger. And you're not going to like it. It's just going to hurt. But you talk about direct drive, you will have direct drive, dude. That sucker's quicker than a cat.
A Chinese flyer in 1980 at the World Championships, he did it that way. He had rings with the lines attached to the rings. He put them on his hands.
Ooh, that's quicker than a cat, dude.
Yeah.
But it hurts. It pulls so hard on your fingers, it hurts.
Yeah.
Ask me
anybody-
if I know.
Has anybody seen a Rusty's handle?
I've flown a Rusty's airplanes.
Well, he's got maybe one adjustment on it, and that's it.
That's the Russian way. They
Yeah.
send you the airplane. This is where the lead outs have to be. This is the line spacing, and this is what you should do.
Each different setup requires something different.
But
And
they're not flying at Tucson and Albuquerque and Houston, and it's a different world in Europe than here, Paul. Way different, dude. Way different. Europe hasn't got the issues we have in America with traveling around America with your density altitude. It's tremendous different than here than Europe.
you got to remember too that each person has a different nervous system, and each person's, you can't say, well, here's an airplane, put the ballast point here, open the handle, this spacing, this much overhang, and it's going to be perfect. Well, it's not going to be perfect for everybody because everybody's got a different nervous system. Bob
right.
Geesey, I tried to fly his airplane one time. He let me fly his Bear, and he had a full size Easy Just, the big Easy Just, and again, he balances it someplace about mid tailwheel. And I couldn't fly that airplane. I couldn't fly it below 15 feet. It was just, I just could not make it go below 15 feet. Conversely, he couldn't fly my airplane because it was too slow for him. He flies with fingertips. I fly with fingers, but makes the movement. He flies with just moving the fingers like that. Everybody's different. Everybody's nervous system is different.
Fair enough. Wasn't there a good article in Stunt News years ago about Les McDonald and Billy Ward flying their world airplanes and each other thought the other airplane was unflyable?
Well, that was Bob and Billy.
Well,
Bob flew
I
Billy.
think it was Les McDonald.
Billy's airplanes and my airplanes are virtually identical in
I
pitch
think
trim.
Les McDonald's who that was.
It could be. I've flown Les's airplanes. I didn't find them to be much different than mine either. We all have very similar. The one that was closest to me is Mikey Palka. I flew his Mustang and he flew my Genesis one day after a contest. We could have flown each other's airplanes in the contest. They were trimmed exactly the same. The pitch trim was exactly the same. Everything, the handle setting was the same. It's amazing. But if I tried to fly Robbie's airplane or Geeski's airplane, I couldn't do it.
Different neutral, different amount of up required.
Yeah.
That's
The
the
bottom
first
line
thing.
is find what works for you, and don't. Somebody said, "Well, this airplane has to have a balance point." They call it CG, but actually it's balance point. The balance point here, and if you fly it there and you're having trouble flying it, and it's too touchy or something, move the balance point. It may be different for you.
You're 100% right, Bob. Everybody's not the same.
Yeah. Our computers are different.
And the engine power is a deal too.
Yep.
That nobody talks about.
Every part of the trim equation is part of how the airplane feels. Every part of it.
Every 100%.
And if you change something dramatically, it's going to really affect everything else too. So Billy Simons once told me, when he always called me kid. He says, "Kid," he says, "the day you crash your airplane or it falls apart from fuel soakage, or in my case, electron soakage, uh, is the day you stop trimming it. The day it falls apart or crashes is the day you stop trimming it. You never stop trying to make it better."
Oh, you can have your airplane flying great in Tulsa and go to Muncie, and it's different. Humid, I don't know.
Density, altitude.
It's just different, dude. It's different. Humidity, corn crops. Look, when I was a young man, I went to cornfields chopping thistles out. If you walk through a cornfield that's 7 feet high, you can die cutting thistles, dude. It's hot in there. There's no air. Tucson's different than Muncie. Albuquerque's different than all the above. King Orange at a 50-degree morning, 5% nitro is going to be running through the roof. Too much power. It's
Yeah.
A variable.
no, it's easy. It's just giving it up or down or neutral. What else can there be?
And another thing here, we were talking about handle spacing and all this stuff, and you're kind of not debating it, but you're discussing it, vigorously. Here's the point: all these airplanes have adjustable features in them, and hardly anybody ever uses them past the point of getting the airplane to do a decent pattern. You need to go out and even when your airplane's flying as good as you think it can fly, you need to write all the parameters down in a notebook so you can get back to them. And then you need to try different things. You need to move things around and try different adjustments and things, because there's always going to be more. I'm not saying that every adjustment's going to be better, but maybe 1 out of 10. But that 10th one will make the airplane better. That becomes your new square one. But then you don't stop there either. You keep experimenting and trying things, and the airplane will get better. Over time, it will get better.
It's just like in times of war. There's lots of ideas, but not all of them are good.
I got to agree with you. For years I flew with an EasyJet back in the day.
Yeah.
When I got back into it, I had a Baron style handle, and then after that, I went to a solid point. But what I found, for me anyway, I have to find where neutral is on my handle adjustment before I can really fly it at pattern altitude consistently. And if I don't find that, I'm always fighting it because for instance, it wants to be up higher. I'm always having to try to drive it down to it. If it wants to be lower.
Down line.
Yeah.
Handle adjustment.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I have to find that adjustment or else I can't. And every plane is different.
And every year, a lot of people have a hard time finding neutral. They're always having to hold either down inverted or upright, and they can't figure it out. And the reason is the balance point's too far forward.
Or flap elevator adjustments out.
Yeah, or that. But generally, it's too much nose weight. You're having to hold it up by giving. You're inverted, you have to give a little down elevator a whole level. You're upright, you have to give a little up elevator a whole level. So play with your balance points as well as your handle set. Your neutral setting.
All the above. It's easy. It's just up, down, or neutral. What else can there be?
Stunt is hard.
I just found out something else about this the other day. Joe Daly flew my airplane after a contest, and he said to me, it looks like the tail's dragging just a little bit. And I didn't notice it really was flying really good for me. But after the season was over, he said, well, why don't you crank that elevator down a little bit, see if you get that nose down a little bit. And I was having not bad handle setting, but kind of a vague handle setting. I had to kind of like fly it with my eyes instead of my hand.
Yes, a swing.
Instantly, the airplane flew, it fell the head upright and inverted. The handle setting was 100% better once I got the airplane, and that was the flap elevator neutral adjustment, like Joe said.
Speaking of inverted, how many of you guys, and does anyone here fly inverted with the handle sideways?
No, you should never do that.
Well,
I see guys doing it.
There's been national champions do it, but when you do it sideways, in my opinion, is you take a step, your handle's going in and out. And if you take a step wrong, it makes it control. If you're vertical, no matter what you do, stumble and fall down, the airplane's not going to change angle of attack
Okay.
because of your handle.
Yeah.
It should be straight up and down.
I fly with mine palm up. I think who's the guy in your the
Ted
lead guy
Fancher
over
does.
there? He
Ted
flies.
Fancher does.
He flies with his palm down. I think Orestes flies with his at about a little bit of an angle. It's not all the way palm up, but he's at a little bit of an angle. So it's how I learned to fly, and you again, everybody's wired differently.
It's what you get used to that you can't get away from it once you get used to it. But if you're teaching someone, try to teach them to hold the handle straight
Square up.
down and 90 degrees to the ground. No,
Absolutely. If you stumble and fall and you move your handle left and right, it doesn't matter.
I like the guys who fly with up is down.
Yeah.
George Waters does that.
like Dougie's Scout.
They give it down and the thing does a loop.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Weird.
Been a lot of them actually.
Yes, there has.
One thing I learned.
The top line is down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, because somebody said when you're flying, give up to go up. So instead of them thinking that giving up is pulling back, they're giving up. They're giving the up to the airplane. That's how a lot of them have described it. Well, somebody told me to give up, so I gave up to the airplane. I moved it towards the airplane. And that was, that was up. Actually, for us, it's down. But that's how they learned.
But there's several people still today that fly like that.
Absolutely.
There's several. But
One of the things that I learned when I do the reverse wing over, I've learned to fly with my handle straight up and down. When I make the turn, though, I'll flip it over to the side so that as I go over the top, the handle is in the same relation. My thumb is up on the cockpit side. So that if I make any little moves or anything, I don't get that darn hook up there. That's one of my pet peeves when a guy goes over and I see that hook up there. It doesn't have to be there.
I have yet to see anybody fly counterclockwise with up is down though. I bet that's really weird.
Well, years ago, I've told this story here a few times. So, years ago, I got out of the Army, and in the spring of '69, I went flying with Gene Schaefer and Bill Simons out to Mitchell Field on Long Island to a contest. And we got there, and no one was there because it was like 30-mile-an-hour winds.
oh, son.
And everybody had left. So Gene, loved to wind fly, dead stick wind fly. So he was wind flying, and he'd go for hours, if the wind was steady. So he landed, and he said, "Why don't you try it, Bob?" And like an idiot, I said, "Oh yeah, it sounds like fun to do."
Yeah, sure.
Billy Simons was the voice of reason. He said, "Don't do it." And I ended up watching pieces of my Caprice blowing down the runway at Mitchell Field into oblivion. And Gene felt so guilty about it that he said, "Well, Bob, come back to my apartment and I'll give you one of my airplanes." I said, "Gene, you fly the other way." He says, "That's no problem." He says, "You put the up line of the airplane to the down line of the handle and vice versa, and take off like you're flying your own airplane in the inverted position. The airplane will be upright, but you're thinking like you're inverted." Made perfect sense to me.
Sounds like another crashed airplane to me.
So anyway, I went up and was able to do it. And I actually placed in a contest flying backwards with his airplane without appearance points. And I used to fly a stunt machine and a whole bunch of airplanes. So I did this for a while, and I got really good at it, to the point where I almost built an airplane to go the other way just to be different. And Simons talked me out of it. But Schaefer comes up to me, this is a few years later now, about 1974, spring of '74. I had a brand new Genesis, and went out to Long Island to practice fly with he and Billy. And he gets out there and he says, "Bob," he says, "how come you never let me fly one of your airplanes that way?" I said, "Well, here, fly it." I never thought to offer it to him, figuring since he told me how to do it, that he would know how to do it. Well, he took off, went right to the top of the circle and was looking down. So now he flipped the airplane over. So in his mind, he's upright and he's flying the airplane upright, and he's not looking at it. And he says, "Bob, get out here." And I ran out there and I said, "What's the matter?" He says, "I can't do this."
If you don't look
Hmm.
at it, you're better off than if you see it. But when you see the rudder up, you need to give it up to make it turn up.
Well, that's
And
why
rudder
Bob's
down.
Genesis doesn't have a rudder on it.
There you go. That's right. If you ignore the airplane and not look at it, then you can fly it out, I think.
Well, he got it down safely, but he never did it again.
Oh, it's.
I was the last guy. I was the last guy to fly the Hallmark, and and he never flew. He flew at the '77 team trials with the Hallmark, and after the contest, he asked me to fly it for him. And I said, "Well, I haven't done this in a while." He said, "Just go up. So I don't care if you crash it. Just go fly it." So I got up and I flipped it over. So I'm in my mind, I'm upright. The airplane's inverted. So I did a bunch of maneuvers, and I landed. And he thanked me, and then he gave that airplane to a kid outside his condo, tied a string around the nose and gave it to the kid, and the kid wrecked it in a few minutes. And that was the last time he ever flew an airplane, was at 77 team trials.
It's harder than you think. When the rudder's pointed up, you want to give it up to go to the rudder, not down. You have to ignore that. And I mean, how many times have you took off and lost a flight streak inverted and done the pattern backwards? But with the rudder, it confuses you a little bit. You need to ignore the airplane and fly it.
I watched the spinner.
What you watch the spinners?
I
What
watched
you
the
watch?
spinner. Yeah.
That may be good advice.
I never crashed one of his airplanes flying that way. And I probably put better than 150, 200 flights on the Judge and the stunt machine.
And you just left down as up, going backwards.
Yeah, I mean, it was like when you're flying inverted, the actual airplane is upright, but in my mind, I'm flying my airplane inverted.
That's right. I get it.
It worked fine.
It's harder than you think. I'm not sure everybody could do that.
You know what's hard is after you do that for a while, going back to the way you normally do it.
Oh, you bet.
Well, everybody knows that when you're going to flip an airplane over and you're flying to the right to left, you pull up on the left shoulder. And if you're going inverted, you pull up on the right shoulder and turn it back over. You just give it down. But if it's going the wrong way, you'd be giving it down as up to the rudder. But
You're overthinking this.
Yeah.
it's true. I mean, I've flown I've done that, but it's harder. You can't think about it. You just got to fly the. What you're saying, Bob, is right. Fly the spinner and don't care what else goes on.
Billy Ivers, another friend of ours who's long since gone, he said to Gene he'd like to try it. So Gene said, "But I don't want to try it the way Bobby's doing." He said, "I want to try it, the way you fly it." And Bill was
No, I'd never do that.
And it got about half a lap and it was totaled.
I'd never do that. No.
Your muscle memory is so ingrained that yeah,
absolutely is.
Looks like Mike Lonke's got a guest there, new to Stunt Hangar. Mike Lonke. He's not paying attention.
He's got his radio turned up too loud.
He's muted. He can't hear us.
KMOD.
Hey, Bob, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So on several of your videos, the gentleman, Dean Pappas, gives quite a bunch of useful information. Some of it's way over my head, but I'm not familiar with Dean and just wondering if you could give us a little bit of background on him and how he wound up on some of your videos.
Well, yeah, sure. I'd be happy to. Dean's like my brother, actually. His wife and my wife are best buddies, and I've known Dean forever. I shouldn't say forever, since 1977. I went to a demonstration at Teterboro Airport. I was asked to fly a demonstration at a big aviation expo day or something. And I flew my Genesis I had used at the 76 Nationals. And that year I was on the team. I made the team to go to, in 78. And I was experimenting with homemade wooden props, 3 blades. And I flew one there. And I went back into the hangar to wipe the airplane down. And this guy comes up to me and starts asking me questions about my airplane that reflected that he knew a whole lot more about what I was doing than I had ever known. And that was Dean. Dean's got like a 180, 190 IQ. He works at a think tank. He's just absolutely brilliant. He's got so many degrees, but he's also one of the nicest, down-to-earth, friendly, lovable people you ever want to meet. As you probably saw in the video, he comes across as just who he is. In 1981, I quit flying stunt because I had to make a living and feed a family. And I had the job at Flying Models Magazine as the editor. And I had to learn about radio control because most of that was radio control. So I learned to fly radio, and I needed a RC pattern columnist. And Dean was one of the top RC pattern flyers in that era. He was at the TOC, and he was in top 5 at the Nationals, and he was, out of 200 contestants in those days. He was a very good flyer. And I remembered meeting him at Teterboro, so I called him up and asked him to meet me at my field up in the Poconos almost. He came up, and we hit it off immediately, and I asked him to be my columnist, and he accepted, and that's how we really started to become really good friends. We started flying together, and the story goes, not too many years after that, the RC pattern world changed. They went from flying what they call ballistic pattern, doing one maneuver per pass at 150 miles an hour, to flying inside a box, an Arresti type pattern in a box. And they had to generate more torque at a lower speed of those airplanes. So he and Richie Tower became friends, and they developed a tuned pipe for RC pattern use. And you got it working so well that they would come across the field at one speed, push the nose down to do like what they call a reverse top hat. The motor would govern coming down without touching the throttle. And when they turned level again, it would come back to its normal speed. And when they pulled the nose back up, it would boost. And then when you've leveled out, it would go back to normal speed. And none of this all of this was without touching the throttle. So he called me over and he said, "Where did you ever want this before? This set of circumstances." I said, "Oh, I don't know."
Great.
He said, "How about control line stunt?" I said, "Oh yeah." So he says, "Well, you suck at pattern, but you're still really good at flying control line. You just came out of retirement." And that's how that whole tuned pipe thing started, was Dean and Richie Tower. So hope that's a longer answer than you probably wanted, but Dean has been a close friend ever since.
There will be a dedicated video, Dean Pappas Engine Basics, as soon as I get around to doing it.
And he knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Richie Tower did too, by the way.
Thanks for that, Bob.
Yeah, great guy. If you ever want to talk to him, he's the kind of guy who'll just talk to anybody about anything.
I think he's a brilliant individual.
He's a fun guy too.
I got to meet Tim Just. Never met him before. I'd heard about him. He's a very interesting guy.
Yes,
Very interesting guy. And I didn't know. I asked him, I said, "What do you do for a living?" He said, I do a little consult work on aircraft and that. And he left to go somewhere, and I'm trying to remember who it was sitting. Anyway, the guy sitting across from me said, "There's more to that story," and he told me a little bit about what he's done in test piloting and all this stuff. And I said, "My goodness, he's very, how would I put it? He doesn't tell you when he first meets you, 'Oh, I did this, I do that.'"
Well, he was on our world team in full scale aerobatics.
Yeah.
Is that right, Bob?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I did not know that.
He's a competition full scale aerobatic pilot.
And he's got
What
several.
year, Bob? In the 70s?
No, not that long back.
Not that far. Is that right?
Hey, you ought to talk to him about it sometime. He flew Giles, I think it was, or Edges or something.
Yeah, all the above.
He's got a few.
Tim would know him.
Aircraft.
He has I think he has a radial pitch now. I don't know what they call it, the Bulldog or something.
S-12 maybe?
The Bulldog, I think they call it, or something like that. He has one of those for air show. He still flies air shows occasionally.
I call them bicycle frames with airplane engines on them.
Yeah. He's an amazing guy.
Yeah, he is. and big, tall. He's as tall as maybe taller than Phil Bailey is. You know.
I mean, he's about my height. We're pretty close.
Yeah.
Or the
And
Evernez kid.
But he's a very interesting guy, I'll tell you that.
He is.
yeah, good builder apparently from what I saw. His
Well,
airplane broke the nose off of it, and you couldn't tell.
he's like a sponge too. He'll go up and he'll absorb information like a sponge.
Well, Tim,
Well,
Tim would know him for sure. You know, Tim would know of him.
Well, it was fun meeting him, and good guy, very very level. You know, you just like one of the guys. You know.
Coming up the ladder fast too.
Oh, he is. He's good. He's got potential.
He lost that airplane that he flew at the Nationals though. He crashed it.
Which airplane was that?
That was the impact that had the bubble canopy.
That was
Oh, that's
called
the
a
one he had
Tim
repaired.
pack. That was
That's
a Tim pack.
Impact, yeah, Timpact.
I believe
Well,
that's the one he was
Tim,
flying. I believe that's the one he was flying at Las Vegas because he told me he crashed it and the nose got busted off,
Yeah.
and he had it all back, bubble canopy impact, kind of tan if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Bob?
You couldn't tell looking at it that it had been
Radial
crashed.
engine pits. That's a good looking airplane.
California lad, Bob? Where's Dean from?
It's Model 12.
What's that?
Where was Dean from?
Dean is currently living in Hamilton Square, New Jersey, down by Trenton.
Sure.
But he's originally from Lodi, New Jersey.
I'll be darned.
Joy.
I don't know that name.
Stuck in Lodi.
That's in California.
Yeah,
For 22 feet of wing.
He's
Wow.
a brilliant guy.
22 foot of wing. What's that airplane?
The pits with a radial engine is called a Model 12.
Model 12 has got a Russian radial in it. Most of
Yeah, it does.
That's 300 horsepower, isn't it?
or more,
320.
or more.
Or more.
Don't those Russian radials turn the other way?
I think you're correct, Bob.
I flew in at the Kiev World Championships. I got a chance to fly with the Ukrainian national champion in a Yak 52.
They
And-
turn the other way for sure.
And it did turn the other way. It was like a little freaky to see the front going that way.
That airplane flies so good it's scary. A
Oh.
Yak 52 is a nice airplane.
Fun to fly. I got a chance
Nice,
to fly a little bit.
nice airplane.
Yeah.
The C-31's a good airplane too.
Joe, did you
They-
see the latest release of the NTSB on the UPS?
I have not.
The motor fell off. That's why it crashed.
Motor fell off, but it's a bigger deal than that, Robert. That airplane had issues a mile back before it crashed.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, but the
That-
motor
that-
fell off, and number one fell off, and then number two foughted, and compressor stalled, and number three on the tail didn't have enough poop to get it over the.
You know, when fire over a wing doesn't make the same lift as air, y'all. There's so much going on there that's above our pay scale. That poor rascal, he flew that airplane to the very end. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
still level coming down through the power lines, dude. He flew that sucker as far as he could.
He didn't have too much choice.
He
What
did
was it, an L1011 or what?
MD-11.
MD-11. But when
It's like an AC-10.
it was on fire before you ever rotated, you're going to learn more about that. And that fire, if the heat got in front of that number one engine in the center over the top, it wasn't making power either. You
I was
can't
just watching YouTube.
500-degree air and make power.
184 knots it went down, and that was way past V1. You know,
The whole thing was a tragedy. I can't
There's a
tell you
new
what happened.
video. There's a new video on YouTube, one I haven't seen yet until today, and it was somebody taking pictures through the fence from a different angle, and you could see the fire all over the wing prior to liftoff.
Yeah,
It really-
it's not making lift right there.
there's a dash
don't
cam
make
video where the guy's right underneath the airplane. You can see the engine off the
Yeah,
wing. And oh man, terrible,
It's
terrible
a
crash.
tragedy. It's absolutely positively a tragedy. Absolutely. I mean,
At least it was quick.
it was just almost to me. It's very reminiscent of that Concorde that run over the something that blew a hole in the wing. When they're on fire, they ain't making no lift, dude.
Yeah,
You can
there'll be
fuss and bitch and all you want. That sucker ain't making no lift with fire going over that wing.
a Swiss cheese model of that one. So
Oh, it
there
was
was more
terrible.
than one mistake that led up to that.
I
Generally, it's
agree. I
aviation all the way
100% agree.
around.
All I can think is some mechanics in deep trouble.
They were doomed from the get go. They were doomed.
Somebody
I'd
left the
heard that
bolt
that
out.
plane had been taken off active list because of some repairs that it needed, like 6, 8 months ago.
It was in the
Yeah.
shop. They're going to learn more. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, well, those engine pylons have a pretty rigid inspection setup on them. So, I mean, unless someone was slacking off on inspections, because that's a well-known issue with those planes. So, but there's other causes that could cause that motor to fall off too.
Well,
that one back in '79, Flight 191, the American out of
that's right.
Yeah,
that happened right here in
they
Tulsa,
tracked that
Oklahoma.
down to the maintenance crew bypassing all the maintenance, how to take that engine off. They took the whole pylon off with the engine to save 200 hours of maintenance. And what they did was they put a forklift up underneath it and cracked the mount. And so beyond that, they've never did that since then. So this is something different than Flight
This is
191.
something different. That deal you're talking about, Bob, at that time, they took that engine off according to specs. But if they used more than 8,000 pounds or 10,000 pounds of pressure, whatever it was, they were doing it according to Hoyle at that time. But they learned by taking the pylon off to put it back on. They took pressures to get the bolt through. There's lots of things learned on that. This one, I think something happened so catastrophic that it blew a hole through the wing and it was leaking fuel and lit off on both a top and bottom of the wing. And who knows what that fire like that, there's trouble in that, dude. They'll figure it out, but it wasn't the pilot's fault, in my opinion. They had overwhelming conditions that there's no way it's going to overcome it. When he went through the power lines at 20 feet, he was still flying that airplane. It was level, and about right then it got away from him. He was trying hard to fly that airplane, but there was no power to work with.
Oh,
a left wing drug through the roof of that whole building.
Yeah,
Showed it from the overhead.
I don't know what the stall
was the
speed
wing
is
or was
on
it the
that thing.
landing gear? Somebody said it was the landing gear that hit the top of that roof. And the
Yeah,
reason
they showed a shot of the plane, and you could see the whole top of the plane coming past
past
sideways.
On the other end of the building. But I think what happened was the landing gear went through where initially hit the building because there were no burn marks on the building, and the landing gear was
No, I didn't see any burn marks on the building.
yeah.
He tried hard to fly that airplane, dude. He flew that into the crash site as far as he could, and there was no giddy up to work with.
Yeah. Oh well.
Aviation in general, that's why I don't fly on private aviation. So
There's what they call
Back a little bit.
the FARs that are written, most of them's written in blood, and that what Bob was talking about, the American Airlines, they changed the procedure for putting engines off and on because of that. That whole thing was that tragedy, absolutely positively tragedy. Everything could have been done right, but something failed and something failed and something failed and something failed, and it wasn't overcomable.
It's man-made. Eventually something's gonna happen to everything that's man-made. We're not perfect.
Where, you can sit there and badmouth this and do this, that, and the other, but at some point, that airplane will fly on two engines. I get that.
It'll
But
fly
will it
on
fly
two,
on
but
three
it won't
engines?
fly on three, and
But-
the other one was stalled.
That's right. But when the engine fell off and the fire was so ferocious over the wing, how much of that fire was going in front of that number one engine over the center pylon.
No, that's the one that was
Powder.
running. The one on the rudder was running. The one on the other side wasn't because it flooded. You can see it
Yes.
when it went down the runway. What pop, got, big flame outs.
That whole thing was, that was worse than a chipmunk running rough, wasn't it?
Yeah, terrible.
It was worse than a chipmunk running rough, wasn't it?
Well, I thought your chipmunk was a knucklehead.
But it came out of it when you got the plug clean. It was okay.
Yeah.
Well, them freight planes are flown a little harder than passenger planes. So just in general, they're flown a little harder. They're landed a little harder. They take off a little harder. They don't have the general public sitting in the back to worry about. They pull more G's with them.
They're
And that's just in general with all the freight planes.
they're probably gross weight all the time. I don't know that, but I suspect they are.
84,000 pounds of fuel or whatever. 34,000 pounds. Huh?
38,000 pounds of fuel.
Yeah, some ridiculous number.
It was.
What was it? 38,000 gallons of fuel.
38,000 gallons is more
gallons of fuel.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, if you add it up, is over 100,000 pounds.
When
plus freight, plus the weight of the airplane. That thing was a porker. Talk about wing loading.
Yeah.
But like I say, there's a lot of them planes out flying with no issues whatsoever. So, you know what I mean?
It happens
A
every
lot of them.
1,000 times a day. They work out just right.
You got to wonder why they're taking off with that much fuel when they're overflying a lot of the United States. Why don't they take off? And that was not a particularly long runway. So what is it, 12,000 feet?
I don't know.
And they don't have much room to shut down. Why wouldn't they take off with less fuel, fly to like Arizona or California, refuel, and then go
Costs
again?
money to land.
Costs money to land. That's exactly right.
It's all about the dollars. Costs money to put that thing on a runway.
It's cheaper to fly at 41,000 feet than it is to taxi, probably, truth be known.
Well, there's airport fees. They charge them every time they touch down. So, there's airport fees and so on.
Some of those
and so on. And then
jets.
you have landing maintenance. You have so many cycles on the landing gear and the brakes, and
I
it's
think it's
just
a
all
Lear
dollars.
24 or Lear 25. Some of those jets burn the same amount taxiing as they do at 41,000 feet going 580 knots. It's the same fuel to taxi it is to go 580 knots at 41,000. So they get up high and they're efficient. They got a plan on that.
If you want to see something real interesting, there's a couple websites out there that track the cost per minute of U.S. military aircraft.
No.
You want to see some shocking numbers?
It'd be interesting to know what it costs to fly an F-18 Hornet per hour. I bet the federal government cannot fly an F-18 for $100,000 an hour.
Now think about a C-130, how much it cost.
Same, it may be more than that. The airplane's only going to last so many
you work your
hours.
whole life paying taxes, and you won't be able, and most of us won't be able to pay for one flight on one of those airplanes.
No, but I want my tax money to go to the Air Force and fighters. I love F-16s.
Yeah, we'll pay taxes our whole life, and all our taxes added up, in some cases, wouldn't pay for one flight on one of those airplanes.
That's correct.
When these cargo ships and these commercial airliners, when they come in for a landing, they dump fuel before they land. Is that correct?
Very few of them do that. They plan ahead to get there with the right amount of fuel. Very few airliners dump fuel, if any. It'd be a tragedy to do that. They cipher that out ahead of time. They can, but they typically don't want to.
Look what Mike's got. What's Mike got there?
It looks like a sack of tubing.
Yeah. Mike.
I don't think they have their speakers on.
I think they got a radio on. When he first came on, they had a loud radio.
Yeah. The wing looks like a sack of tubing wing, but the fuselage is modified. It's not.
I got to see what you're talking about.
I think it's a martini shaker because he's shaking.
You're something. How do you see that? I want the gallery view. How do I get that?
Stirred.
Go up to the top where it says view.
galleries, what I've seen before.
Well, go up there. It's unset on gallery right now.
Hey, Mike.
There it is. Gallery view.
Mike.
Lunky,
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Lunky,
There he goes.
talk to us.
There you are.
What's up, guys? We're wondering what you're working on there.
He's got Grand Funk Shining On playing.
Grand Funk. No, it's Billy Idol, White Wedding. But
Okay, fair enough.
Grand
what was I
Grand
doing?
Funk did not do Shine On, Joe. That was Humble Pie.
That was humble pie. What did I do? A little shop cleaning, consolidating some half A fuel I got from one of the club members. He gave me like 6 bottles of Hobby Co. half A fuel, so I put them in a better bottle to store them because they're good. And he gave me an old bottle of a can of Cox Super Fuel. I figured that was going to be rusted to hell, but it wasn't. I ran it into a jug and looked at it. It looks pretty good. So
Good.
doing that, cleaning up my profile that I flew at King Orange, winterizing it till next year, cleaning the tank, flushing the tank, cleaning it up.
What is that profile?
Who's with you tonight? Who's there with you?
My buddy Chris, my neighbor Chris. He flew a little control line last year. He flew at Joe Knoll. He won beginner at Joe Knoll a couple of
Yes,
years ago.
yes. That's right.
Second. Yeah. Second and beginner. Yeah.
What design is that red airplane you're cleaning up there?
This is the Sakatumi, bro. Walter Ullman Sakatumi.
Akatumi.
I was right. I recognize that wing.
Yep. LA 46, Tom Dixon, LA 46.
How's that fly for you?
Well, I had trouble with it when I first built it because it's got a really bad wing warp on the trailing edge of the inboard wing.
Oh boy.
I just can't get it out. It's like this right on the trailing edge. And I have steamed it and clamped it and hung weights from it. You know, I've done all kinds of stuff to it to try to get the warp out, and I never could. So it always flew cockeyed. And I mean, short of stripping the covering off, that's the only way I'm really going to get the warp out is take the covering. And I really don't want to.
There's another way, Mike. There's another way. You
get a steam kettle.
Go ahead.
Let me tell him, get a steam kettle, and it takes 2 people to do this. One guy's got to hold the fuselage, and you move that wing over the steam kettle, and you got to twist it past where you don't twist it twist it extremely past.
Yeah.
Get it wet like a noodle, and then let it relax. And if it comes back, do it again. You got to get the power out of the wood, but it will straighten out.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, like I said, what I tried was I clamped 2 pieces of 1/4 inch basswood, like, 3 inches wide, and then I hung a bunch of weights on it.
Forget clamping it.
I steamed the hell out of it through the lead out guide to get it in the wing to try to get it in the wood.
No, it'll steam right through the monocoat. Just steam right on the monocoat all the way across on both sides. It'll get so loose, it's like a noodle. And then just twist it past and hold it. Don't worry about weights, and then let it go. And then sit back and watch it, for an hour, and it'll come back to where it was, and then do it again.
Okay.
Mike, the most
go ahead,
spectacular thing to do is start it, lean the engine wide open, and do a wing over and turn loose the handle about straight up.
That'll work.
That gets rid of all your problems.
That'll fix it. Well, in the interim, so I put this big fat trim tab on the outboard wing, and that helped. I flew it like that for a while, but it was still pretty wonky, right? So I put another big fat trim tab on the inboard wing, and they're both going in opposite directions. And I'll tell you what, it flew straight as an arrow at King Orange, and it flew good enough for me to win profile with it.
That's good enough right there.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is, man. I'll leave it with the funky trim tab.
Robert's right, though. You got to take 2 people and bend the heck out of it and just steam it till it can't. You could pour towels and boiling water over it and do the same thing.
Joe, do you remember all the trouble? The last time I flew this plane was Baton Rouge.
It was horrible.
5 years ago.
It was horrible.
And I hung it on the ceiling and just hadn't touched it since. And I needed something for profile at King Orange. So I added the other trim tab put a couple test flights on it, and it was okay. So
The trouble with trim tabs, they only work at one speed,
yeah,
but it's good. It won, so how can you argue with that?
no, yeah, I was pretty happy with it.
That's right.
So I'm winterizing that, and then the SV too, the PA-65. I got to flush the tank on
Well,
that.
you're not winterizing any combat ships. I see them suckers flying every day.
Sam has flown 22 of the last 30 days.
I think it's so fun.
22 of the last 30 days he's flown in the backyard.
Well
And then
done.
we've
That's
gone
all
to the
I got.
field and flown matches too. I mean, he's hoping to get 200-300 flights by the time we go to the Nats.
I just hope
Worlds.
he's got to have his head on right, Mike. It's a marathon,
Yeah.
not a 100-yard race.
Is
Yeah,
that
we're
is
just-
that video still on your channel of him as a guy about 2 foot tall? Go Sam,
is.
go! And he's going around.
Yeah.
Is that on there?
It's on my YouTube channel, M. Lonke. Yep.
You need to put that on TV and show him that every day. See, look how far you come.
Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant idea.
I'm getting over pneumonia too. I came back from King Orange with pneumonia, so that was nice.
That's just lovely.
What a gift.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, right?
Climate change.
Something. I don't know. Now, Sam brought some crud home from school and gave it to the whole family, and he gave it to me like before I went to King Orange,
Well,
and
I
I
know the
wasn't
feeling.
feeling great the whole time there, and then it moved into my lungs and blah. Not COVID though. We all got tested. It's not that. It's it was pneumonia. So got a chest X-ray and all that good shit.
It's amazing how COVID
But
went
that's
away
it.
and just disappeared.
Yeah. Winterizing stunt stuff, putting it away till next year, and focusing on combat, like you said, Joe. We're just
It's time.
we're going to RC swap meet tomorrow. There's a big RC swap meet here in Nashville. So I got about 6 planes loaded up in the truck, just some stuff that we don't fly anymore. Going to try to turn that into some cash to help fund the trip to Australia. And we're not coming home with anything. I already told Sam we're not buying anything. We're going there to sell. We're selling.
That usually works out real well for me.
Yeah. I do. Yeah. Oh, I do got something else I can show.
Go with 1 carload, come back with 2.
Yeah.
Guy from the club, no, different guy from the club called me up and said, "Hey, I got some ringmasters if you want them." So I picked up that one. That's got a pretty decent Fox 35 on it. And then this one,
That's an oxymoron.
Super Tiger G21 on it.
Oh crap! That's
Which
going to
is
go
pretty
way
nice.
fast.
I mean, the planes aren't great, but the motors feel pretty damn good. I'll end up. These will probably go to Will Davis's grandkids. They'll go to Wesley and Connor or some other
Wesley
kid.
Connor will kill them airplanes. It'd be perfect.
Something. Yeah.
I like them fuel tank mounting straps there.
Oh yeah, the old zip tie, man. Right? Yeah,
It'll work just fine till it don't.
Works a wonder. Or maybe I'll give them to get them running and let Sam and Liam Barry fly combat with them at the Nats next year. They can put streamers on them.
Thursday evening.
On Thursday, yeah, Joe.
Yeah,
Right.
We get it.
Free flight night, right?
That's right. We could do a wing over and turn the handle loose and watch them fly away.
Don't get caught doing that. That means you didn't have a safety thong on.
It broke.
That's right.
It
I
broke.
probably have 80% of my flying time on Ringmasters. The rest of it's all on half A combat kittens.
Combat kittens are pretty good airplane now, y'all.
Hey, I learned a lot flying them. I learned
Dang
how
right.
not to let them hit the ground. And that was 80% of my time flying them when I started
That's
out.
right. The secret to flying control line is don't try to fly below the air.
Well, combat kittens, if you're flying over, if you take them out in alfalfa field, when it's about knee high or better, and fly, you can, they don't.
You can't break them.
You can't kill them.
Yeah.
Oh, I had
Same
them
with
hit
the
the
jumping
asphalt at the
bean,
Reading Club and
the
pick them up.
jump bean, all that. The
I
jump
learned how
bean,
to
the
fly
combat
inverted.
kit, little Satan.
My
They'll all
father
be
took me
good.
out on a field with high hay, or grass, real high grass. And I kept going in inverted until finally I didn't. That's how I learned how to fly inverted. Didn't break the airplane.
No, cushions it.
How many of those plastic props?
I was 53 at the time.
Were you?
It's all good.
What did, you learn, what did everybody learn how to fly inverted on? What kind of airplane?
I remember my daddy for sure, Bob, had his hand on my shoulder and we spin inverted and he'd say, "Give it down, Joe Mike," and I'd give it up just because. He'd say, "Dang it, Joe Mike, give it down." He'd give me twist my hand down. And once I did that 3 or 4 times,
Yeah, you got it.
It's it's a big.
You're asking about the first time going inverted or learning?
Yeah.
I was probably 10. I had a ringmaster, and Dad, he helped me fly it, taught me loops and level flight. And then I was taking it out to the park by myself with a stooge, launching and, doing loops and wing overs and flying. And Dad came out to watch. I was there by myself, and I was trying to do long inverteds, and I pulled out in a loop and crashed the airplane. And Dad said, "Don't pull out on an inside next time." He says, "Pull out outside, give it full down." And the next time I went out and flew, that's what I did. I went inverted, and when I got close to the ground, I went full down, and it came around. And I was 10 or 11 years old. And after that, man, it was just
me too. Katie barred the door.
Lazy eights after that,
It's weird. I never had a problem with inverted or not inverted, basically because I flew RC before I flew control line, and I think about the plane a little different. I don't think about, I think about where I want it to go, not which way I'm moving my hand or anything. It's just, and probably playing video games growing up, because I'm part of that generation. I really don't think inverted and upright. I'm just flying.
Well, I'm talking about just eights, doing eights without crashing. Yeah. But if it's inverted specifically, Bob, because I'm left-handed, the other thing my dad told me for inverted laps, not just doing eights, he said, when you come over, just turn your hand upside down.
Ooh.
And look at your hand. No, that's how I did it.
Oh my gosh.
That's how I flew inverted. Up is down, down is up, right? But
I've been watching videos of a lot of the combat guys, and I still see them.
I eventually just started rotating my hand around once I got comfortable and knew how much, and just over time rotated my hand, and then I knew.
Yike.
Down is up, up is
Let's
down.
hear from Joe Lacey. He wants to say something.
That's easy, because you can look at your hand and go, that's up, that's down. That's up, that's down.
Joe wants to tell us about his adventures.
Yeah, the first thing I wanted to say is the last time I was on, we were talking about, stretching the lines. And so today I went out and I put an eye in a pole, a big pole that I've got in the yard, and I went to stretch 2 of my lines. One was a Spectra, and the other one was a 12 thousandths 7-strand. And so I have little solid steel, stainless steel eyelets that I have on my Spectra. And so I'm using the AMA knot. And then I put a drop of CA over the knot.
No.
Yeah. So anyway,
don't do that.
Okay. Well, one of them busted, the one right up on the handle. And then when I put the cable on, it made a sound like a twing, 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 and then one of those busted. And I'm like, man, I'm 2 for 2.
You're pulling too hard.
Okay, well, that was my next question was, everybody's different. Everybody's, going to pull at a different amount. And so
but a scale doesn't lie. You got to get a fish scale and pull at the same amount.
Okay.
Don't just jerk on it. Put 100 pounds of pressure on a 12 thousandths line. It's not going to.
Well, I didn't do that. I slowly increased the pressure.
To how much?
But I don't know. That's just it. I wasn't using a measure. But how much should I?
10 times the model weight.
On 12 thousandths line, there's a number that's going to break, and I can't come up with that in my head. But there's a rules. If you put, in my opinion, if you put a Spectra on this line and you put a 12 thousandths and pulled it square, one of them's going to fail first. and I can't tell you which one that's going to be.
Right.
But
Well,
one of them's going to fail. The 12 thousandths, I don't think is going to pull 25 pounds. Is my gut feeling. I don't know the number. Do you know, Bob?
I
a
don't.
20
I
I don't
used
know.
to.
But it ain't going to pull no 30 pounds on a single wire.
Think about this. If you got 14 thousandths lines, you're usually pulling between 30 and 45 pounds.
That's right.
Okay, so if you want to over stress it, you go 55 pounds.
It ain't going to make 55.
It'll make 14 thousandths will make 55
You
pounds.
think on one wire?
Yeah, oh yeah.
No way.
Okay.
Okay, maybe so.
Well, I'll tell you this much. If you put CA glue on the Spectra, CA glue is crystalline, as in it's just like little razor blades. It's going to fail. We've already proven it. We've already proven that.
The knots they use are designed to pull themselves tight, and once you glue them, they don't pull themselves tight no more.
I know when I started playing with them, I call them Russian lines. They're 14 and a half.
Oh, those are cool.
3-wire cables.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I pulled those 30 pounds on one wire. And those stretched less at 30 pounds than our 18,000 7-strand wires stretched at 30 pounds.
Yeah, because they're solids. They're three solid wires.
A 30 pound pull, dude, there ain't nobody on this form can fly an airplane with 60 pounds on their hand.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody. You guys can brag all you want. You ain't flying an airplane in stunt with a 30-pound pull. It ain't happening.
Dan down at the Philly Club can.
No, he
flies
can't.
with 2 hands.
No, he can't.
Mhm.
No, he can't.
The
Not
name,
do,
by the way, the
not
name of
do
the knot,
precision aerobatics. He cannot. He
The- the
cannot fly precision aerobatics at 30 pounds.
80 ounces times 10.
the name of the knot, by the way, that a lot of people are using, or most people are using with the synthetic lines, is called the double Palomar. Look up
Yep.
double Palomar. That's what they're using.
How
Well,
many
also-
guys at the Nationals have you seen fly an 80-ounce airplane? That has to pull 50 pounds.
That's on 2 wires.
Right, on 2 wires. So
That's
that's
20
40 pounds each.
25 each. Oh, 80?
80 pounds.
Oh, hell, nobody can
No,
fly
50
80.
pounds, excuse me. 50 pounds, that's 25.
25. There, nobody can fly that much in precision air.
No, he's not saying they're flying at that. He said that's what they have to pull.
I know, but
Pull 10
Oh, my
times the weight of the airplane.
Okay, so it sounds to me like I need to look in, at the specs for the line and you use one of those numbers that says,
Line
okay, use
64,
this size line for this
540.
weight of airplane
Divided
and
by
use that as a
60.
guide for the pull test. And the next thing is, so the amount of force is one thing. The duration of the pull of the tension is the second thing. So what should the
If
duration
you'll get
of,
you a good scale,
Yeah.
make up your lines, put the 2 lines together with a clip, put one of the ends of the line on something. I use my boat. I put it on my boat trailer and I back up in the front yard, put a fish scale on the end of the thing. And most of my airplanes weigh under 60 pounds. 60 pounds. God, I hope so. 60 ounces.
60 out. That's right.
It's been a day, guys.
I hear you.
Anyway, I'll
Too
put a
much
fish
paint.
scale on it and I'll pull it to 30 pounds. And I just sit there and hold it. And you try to hold it for 1 minute. And I'm telling you what, you try to hold 30 pounds for 1
That's
minute.
a long time, Phil.
I mean,
Well,
that, and a
my
flight,
airplane
and a
would pull
stunt flight is,
16 pounds per wire at my weight that
Yeah.
I have to
That's
pull.
32
Yeah.
pounds. That's
So to
good.
be
Well,
safe, I would pull each wire 20 pounds.
yeah. Well, that's about what I
Joe,
pulled these 30 and they worked. Well,
Joe,
they
I've
should have
got a
broke, but
question
they,
for you, Joe.
yeah,
What are you buying? What brand of lines fishing line are you buying?
Spectra and
Okay, Spectra, but there's Spectra and there's Spectra. There's
60
there's
pounds.
there's a Chinese knockoff that
don't get
won't
the
do the
Chinese
job.
crap.
And it's labeled as Spectra, and people lost airplanes because of it. What's the brand we prefer?
The fins is what I'm using.
Fins?
Fins
Fins,
5G.
spider wire.
Fins.
Yeah.
5G.
I'm still
I
looking
use
for a
fins.
sky blue color.
Well, there you go. You got your answer, Joe. You said you're running 60-pound test. Well, Pull it 60 pounds. See if it tests.
You pull
It
60
won't.
pounds, it'll break.
It won't. It won't break. No,
Pull
it won't
40.
make 60 pounds. No way.
Now, if you're pre-stretching, I pre-stretch before I make my lines.
No, I make it after I make my lines because I won't know if my knots are going to fail.
Oh, well, that's testing. I'm talking pre-stretch. I always pre-stretch my lines before I make them. So that way one don't stretch longer than the other, which probably would never happen.
How,
But I
how do
always
you
pre-stretch my
anchor them?
stretcher.
How do you anchor them to stretch them?
I just tie them off and I hang a weight in the other side and let them hang there for about an hour or two.
All right, so you're
Oh my
actually
God.
tying them off, and then you have to cut off where you tied them. So you
Yeah,
make it.
I cut that off. I make them stretch them longer.
Gotcha.
Because they say Spectre doesn't stretch. It does.
Oh,
It
it sure
does.
Get them out there. That weight will
Oh,
be
it
an inch
does.
further down than when
Heaven
I tied
yes,
it.
it does.
Absolutely
It does.
Okay,
I
so
was-
you've got 60-foot lines that are hanging. So you've got a tall place to hang those
No,
from.
no, you put them horizontal, hang them over like a broom handle or something at the other end, and just tie a weight on them. Tie,
Okay, gotcha.
20 pounds on them, let them hang there
Okay.
one at a time, or to the pair. I do them out in my backyard. Maybe I did all half A lines, but
Sure.
If you try
Joe,
to,
I
ma-
can't
if you
answer
try
your
to,
question, but most of the airplanes you're flying that weigh 45 ounces, if you pull a line to 30 pounds, that's a serious pull test. One line at 30 pounds is a serious test.
Yeah.
yeah,
Serious.
I put my lines together. Take the two lines and put them together in the middle, then attach one in. You're testing everything in one shot. And 30 pounds that's a pretty good test. And sit there and hold it for 1 minute. You'll be ready to let go of it after a minute.
Dang
trust
right
me.
you will.
back when the Spectre thing first came along, I was using them on half A's already, and then I put them on my ringmaster. And Bob up at the Reading Club, the president of the Reading Club, was all against Spectre. Everyone had to use wire, so he made me make a set of lines and give them to him so he could take them home and test them. So he brought them back. They didn't break, but literally that's how it was back then. He was like, there were guys in the club that were adamantly against flying with anything
Oh.
metal wire.
Well, how long
Well, the
is
combat
AMA
guys have been doing it for years.
the AMA general rule to use those? Now, maybe Mike can tell us this because he's combat flyer, because they were using them officially in their event before we were allowed to use them.
Absolutely.
But the general rules allowed them for a few years before we passed the rule that we could use them in precision aerobatics. So does anybody know how far back that
Mike.
general rule goes?
Mike must have his speakers off again.
He does. I don't know that Bob answer, but it's been
10
I bet
years.
you a decade ago they
I
were
would say
using
10 years, yeah.
I'd say a decade ago they were doing that.
Yeah.
Mike.
Sorry.
How long have they allowed combat to run Spectra lines? When did they start running those?
Oh, geez. It's over 15 years. It's
There
probably
you
like
There
17
you go.
years.
Yeah.
It's been way more than a decade, is what I guessed.
Yeah,
Way more than a decade.
It's pre 2010. I want to say.
Wow.
I think like since 2008.
In a minute.
No,
I could tell you exactly because Tom Hampshire and Phil Cartier are the ones that wrote the proposal, the rules change.
Yeah.
And it was originally for speed limit combat is where it was allowed. And
How long
then,
ago was I flying kites?
then it became
With my knee surgery.
it's legal in half A, and it's even legal in fast combat, technically. Although we just changed the rules on fast combat. Fast combat now has to be 21,000 lines, and you have to wear helmets for Nelson fast combat.
I was gonna say the first plane I ever flew that wasn't half A on Spectre was one of Phil's foam wings.
Yeah.
When I went up to pick it up, he gave me a set of Spectre lines with it.
Yeah, Phil was flying it in 2010 when I met him, and the rule had gone in a couple of years before that.
Speaking of Phil, have you heard anything of Phil's health?
He's in a home.
I know he was in a home, but is he coherent still, or?
Nah, he's really not there, man.
Okay.
Yeah, he's Parkinson or dementia.
Yeah. Well, he was last I saw him. He was getting a little forgetful, and so.
Yeah. The last person I talked to that saw him was Roy Glenn, and that was like maybe a year ago, 10,
When was
10
my knee
months.
surgery?
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Mary got in touch with everybody. And I think Roy Glenn helped her. They're getting rid of all this stuff. I bought all this foam that he had left. So
I don't know if you guys ever had the blessing of seeing his foam cutting system. If you're ever at his place and saw what he actually used to cut the foam and the computer he used to cut the foam with.
Yeah, he had a CNC foam cutter. He helped Larry Davis actually built two that were just like Phil's.
Phil's was
helped
ran
him.
on a Commodore computer.
Yeah. Larry had a little better computer than that.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Larry built one, and a friend of his liked it so much he bought it from him, and then he built another one, and another guy liked it so much he sold that one. But,
And I learned so much about combat from Phil, the bladder tanks and all that. And that was all Phil Cartier. And he's a big reason I got into control line when I did.
great guy.
he's a good guy.
I met him up the hidden hangar up in Hummelstown one time.
Mary, wasn't her name Mary?
Yeah,
Mary.
Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mary.
Mary's his wife.
And I don't know.
She's got health issues too.
Yeah.
They were good people, man.
There was a group that flew combat around here, which Phil was a member of that group, and I can't find any of the other guys anymore. I don't know if they all stopped now, or I mean, they all were.
Well, two of them are dead. Bub Reese and Gil Reedy both passed away.
They flew up there around Hershey.
Mm-hmm.
I got one of Bub Reese's airplanes up here.
Do you really, Mike?
I do. Yeah.
He was a big time NHRA dragster driver.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. No, I have one of his combat wings sitting. I'm looking at it right here.
Wow.
Not Brodax this year, but Brodax last year, 2024. Sam and I went to, and somebody had a bunch of his stuff, and they gave me one of his airplanes.
Is that the guy that was on the corner there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Bub
flying.
and Shirley. Remember Shirley? She was a good girl too. Bub and Shirley.
Yeah.
The other guy he flew with was a guy named Whiteman. I forgot his first name.
I don't know Whiteman.
He was a Maka top 25 guy. Bub Reese, Gil Reedy, and Whiteman and Cartier all flew together.
Good people.
And Rich Lopez and Roy Glenn. They all kind of flew together.
Good people, man.
And I actually met some of those guys flying when they would fly up in Hershey, and I went up like 2 or 3 times with Phil.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who all I met there because I'm heck with names. And back some years.
Guys, they were always. I used to go out and fly a little bit with them too, and I got into slow combat for a while there. Went out and flew with him. They're very, very helpful.
Good people.
We were talking about fuel for F-16. It's $3,500 an hour in just fuel, but a Fighting Falcon, the maintenance and everything costs between $8,000 and $26,000 an hour, and an F-22 Raptor is $85,000 an hour. I mean, this is ridiculous stuff.
But here's the rub: they cost so many millions of dollars, and they're going to fly X number of hours, and they're junk. That's where that number comes from.
Yeah.
Well, no, they're including the maintenance.
They are, absolutely.
Yeah, but then you gotta look at the A-10s and how many hours those planes have on their airframes.
They're $22,000 an hour.
Yeah, but they're scary. Some of them airframes are still flying. They've updated and updated and updated. They have some major hours on them A-10s.
Well, think about a B-52. How old is that? That's 70 years old.
The first one flew in 1952, December, I think, 22nd. Google it.
There was a story about a guy who was flying one, whose father and grandfather flew the same exact airplane.
Yes. The last B-52 was built in 1962. Google it and see if I'm right. 1962 was the last B-52 built.
3 generations flew on the exact same airplane.
Remarkable. Absolutely remarkable.
Tough old bird.
Well, it's just like the USS Enterprise.
Yeah, the airplane was pretty good too.
The keel wasn't even laid before the captain was born. I mean, the keel was laid before the captain was born.
Wow.
That's pretty old.
It's amazing.
Pretty cool stuff.
It's remarkable.
Oh, well.
The first flight of a 747 I think was December 22nd, 1968. And they finished building them in January of 23, maybe.
Atlas was the last one to get one.
How can that be? That you designed something that lasted that long?
Yeah.
Remarkable. Absolutely. Then he went to the
Well, look at
moon.
it this way: the Noblers lasted pretty long.
Yeah, you're right, Bobby.
You know, that's something I noticed at the contest. There was several Noblers, a couple of geese, a couple of green
Ringmaster.
and they were flying. They were flying pretty darn good.
You know, let's be honest, guys. We're all just flying like stretch Noblers. You know.
Yeah.
No, a Crossfire is a far step from a Nobler.
Well, but it's got the same configuration: flaps, elevators, basic motor arms. It's just we're all flying.
I got plans. I got plans for the Fierce Arrow here, and I keep looking at it, trying to figure out how to put a battery in it.
Forget it. Not if you want.
I've got a kit I'll
I
sell
collect
pretty
for that
easily.
kind of punishment. I love wings.
Oh,
Well,
I've got a
it's fun to
Fierce Arrow
fly.
kit I'd
It's
sell
fun to
pretty
fly.
good.
It's real
I
fun
took,
to fly, and it makes
I took
weird
one of
noises.
Phil Cartier's combat planes and put landing gear on it.
It makes weird noises when you hit hard turns in the air, and that it's kind of neat, you know.
There's nothing drums better than a Fierce Arrow.
Yeah.
Like I said, I
Big
haven't
as a
seen
bass
one.
drum, why not?
I haven't seen one done electric, so.
Oh, don't bother. It won't drum right.
but you know they look cool in the air until you screw up a square turn.
I figure that if I want something to last, I'm going to do it electric. If I don't want it to last, I'll do it glow. So.
Well, the FAI rule said you're supposed to go one lap between engine shutoff, and go one lap to land. There ain't nothing better than a Fierce Arrow for that program. Nothing. They glide so good, it's scary.
Do you see the video of McEntee? Yeah.
Yeah, that he posted. That's where as soon as I saw that, I got the plans for it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that looks so cool, doesn't it? I had to
And
judge.
I'll tell you what, he in that video they have the 4.2 brake to a T.
Yes.
You don't
Was
get
that a
4.2.
yellow Fierce Arrow? Is it yellow? The
No,
Fierce Arrow?
No, it's Mike. What was it?
Probably McEntee. Dan McEntee had one for years.
Well,
Probably still got
It
it.
was yellow, and that Gary Hayjack built that one.
Did he?
Well, the one McEntee's flying now, he got from Mike Gale or something like that at SIG.
Huh.
Neither one of them's the one.
Neither one of those are Gary's.
Is that Brick House?
No, that's Rusty Brown, and I forgot the other guy's name, but he was always at VSC in the early days.
Yeah.
That's Fancher flying in the background. You can see with the white pants on, flying a Chief.
Who's in the yellow airplane? Colleen.
I don't know
Who was
that guy.
from Tulsa that had the Fierce Arrow?
Yeah, that's the guy from Tulsa.
That's him. What was his name? The
I
guy
forgot his
from Tulsa
name.
with D Hill. He always comes to see us at Tucson.
Really nice guy.
Oh,
And I'd like to build one of those just for fun.
Walter.
Walter Lewis.
Walter Lewis, very good.
That's
Go to the
Walter
head of the-
Lewis right there.
Excellent.
Man, you made me work. Colleen had to work on that one.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Oh my gosh, Walter Lewis. He's still alive last year at Tucson. He
Wow.
was a machinist at American Airlines. He made tooling. And that was him right there. I'm sure that was him, Bob.
Yeah, you're right. Now that you say it, I know you're right. Yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
That's going back.
Go to the
God,
head of
that's
the
30
class.
years ago or more, isn't it?
Go to the head of the class with that one.
30 years ago or more.
Yeah.
And Rusty Brown? Goodness gracious.
That was Rusty Brown, yeah.
Sugar baby.
Yeah. There's
Hey,
another.
Joe, you were talking about longevity for airplanes.
Yes.
Think of the SR-71, and it still holds the record.
That thing flew in 64, maybe. I have to look and see. Okay, the guy on the left, I think, is
Bob Hazel.
Hayward. Bob Hazel.
That's
I'm-
Doc, isn't it? Doc Holliday in the middle.
Doc
No,
Holliday in the
no.
middle.
No, that's
No.
not Doc Holliday.
That's not.
No, that's guy that did the Fox 35 work. What was his name? Lou Willard.
Well,
That's
Lou,
what I
that's Lou
thought.
Woolard. It is Woolard.
Lou Woolard,
That's
yeah.
Lou Woolard. You're right.
Yep,
Who's flying that yellow airplane, Aries?
that's Hoffman.
That's Jim
You're
Hoffman.
kidding.
No freaking way.
That's Jim Hoffman.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome.
Oh my goodness.
Just to make a strong story, I flew an engine that Big Art built some engine for Bob and Mary.
Yep.
And
Big
I flew Bob OS Max 35S today, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
Big Art says Bob right on it. Bob
I think
Hayden.
he's gone. I think he's gone now. I know Mary's gone.
Mary's gone for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was VSC2. That was 1990.
That's at Tucson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
VSC2. Yep.
That's Jim Hoffman.
Yep.
I'd lost money on that dude.
And he still has that airplane.
Oh my word.
So when he comes on here, we can ask him to show it.
That's fun stuff right there.
Yeah.
Show more pictures. I love pictures.
Okay, what else we got here? Hold on. Well, here's one of all the Tuckers that were. I think this was 93.
Yeah, Bob's got tons of pictures.
I like pictures. That's history. That's Bob. That Bob top
Or not
right.
faster, but
Is that
On the
Stan
left. Who's
Powell?
that? You know who
That's
that is
Aaron.
on the left?
Is Stan Powell?
No.
Nope.
Aaron?
Jim Armour.
Armor.
Oh, it
there you go.
is.
He's gone now too.
Frank McMillan.
Frank
Frank
McMillan.
Milne, the bottom center is Frank. I'm sure you're right.
Some freak from the East Coast.
And then there's
Oh,
that guy,
my
Bob
Lord.
Hunt, there.
That Hunt guy,
Yeah. With the white shoes.
he needs some white pants like Armor.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I used to have some of those. I got a really cool picture of Armour here someplace.
Do you have a picture? Do you have a picture of my Dick Williams airplane at the
Electra? The Electra?
Electra at the third VSC?
I
I
don't
think
think,
it was.
so. But here's one of Armour's and his car in the background actually.
Oh, look at that!
I don't know
55.
that airplane. That's got
Is
a
that
big
the-
elevators. 55 Chevy?
Yeah, 55.
55, yeah.
I guess
That's his hallmark airplane.
I don't know that airplane.
Epic.
Yeah. I published that in Flying Models back in the 90s.
3-blade prop. Looky
Or
there.
actually the 80s. I think I published it in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty well known around the West Coast here.
Yeah, good builder,
Yeah.
nice, heck of a nice guy. He's gone now.
Yeah.
Let's see who else we got here. Does anybody remember this guy?
Find somebody a Whiteley. I want to see a Whiteley picture.
Oh, let's see what I can find here.
Huh?
I
You
remember
gotta
this
find
guy.
one.
I don't know who that is. I do not
He
recognize.
was on the scene for a short while, made a lot of noise. He won senior, I think, and he was but he's like a semi-pro ball player. He looks like a ball player, you know.
He's a second baseman. That's what that boy is.
That's Jeff Anderson.
I do not know him.
Yeah.
I don't recognize
He's
that
with,
airplane.
Arlie Presler.
I know Arlie Presser's name.
Actually, I got a picture of him with Arlie with that airplane. Hold on.
This is so cool.
Oh, there.
I do not know them. That was way before my time.
That
Was
was
that
actually-
84-5, Bob?
I think
What
that's
year?
Lincoln. I think that's Lincoln in 82.
That's close. I do not know them.
Oh, I like the lines of that airplane.
Yeah, the Citation. Yeah, it's a good airplane.
Yeah.
Presler's airplane.
I'll take a Genesis.
See if I can find somebody else that's good here. I got a lot of these old pictures.
Yes, you do.
Here's one. Nobody will get this. Nobody will get this. I wouldn't bet my life on it, but I bet your life on it.
I don't know who that is.
Take a good look at the airplane. That'll give you a clue.
It looks a little bit like a Genesis wing and tail. What is that thing?
That's called a pigeon jet. That's Jimmy Cosmillo. That's Don Cosmillo's brother.
Really, Don?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I got a
OS
picture of
Max 35S, you reckon?
Fox 35 in those days. That was back in I was like 65 or 66.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I got Dawn in here too. Let's see if I can find Dawn.
I ran 3 Fox 35s today.
Here we go.
Look, I left for the model airplane field I was there at 8:35 and I left at 4:15. I had a good day at the model airplane club.
The person I flew against every week.
Is that Don?
That's Dawn.
Yeah.
What airplane is that?
That's the original design. We called it the pigeon jet because if you look at it from the
Pigeon
side,
jet.
it looked like a pigeon, the nose.
I'll be darned.
Yeah, they had a whole bunch of them.
Was Scarinzi involved in that?
Scarinzi and DeTavio.
DeTavio also. Okay.
Yeah.
13-inch root, 8-inch wingtip.
I don't remember, but it was heavy. but they had a lot of power. They flew with like 25% nitro on a Fox 35, you know.
Whatever it takes.
The thing's way in the mid 60s.
No way. That airplane weighed 60 ounces, huh?
Yeah, because her father was an auto body guy, and he used, acrylic lacquers and just put paint on it like crazy,
Oh my goodness.
She was a nice kid. She was one of the guys. She really was a very down to earth person. Nobody would approach her because she was really pretty, and everybody was intimidated. But she was really a nice person. That picture was taken at a barbecue at our house after a contest.
What year you think? 66, 8?
65, 66, someplace.
66. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah.
That's remarkable.
What else we got here?
Show me Larry Scarinzi in 65.
Oh, I don't know if I have him at 65. Maybe I do. Hold on.
That boy's something too.
I got him.
Never forget the tin can in front of his Cadillac.
Well, there's no airplanes in this, but here's Larry.
Got to zoom out.
Oh, yeah. How do I do that? Hold on a second. See if I can get another picture of him up here.
Larry and Edith?
Ginger.
Ginger. I'm sorry. Ginger. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Look how young he is.
He still got a flannel shirt on.
Oh,
He always had a flannel shirt on. He was buried in a flannel shirt.
He should be singing
and everybody at the wake had flannel shirts on.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, geez.
He should be singing, crooning songs or something. I don't know.
He's a funny guy. This is an airplane he had around that era, 65, I think. It was a bigger version of a half-A that he did called the Jolly Flapper. This was a super flapper.
Holy smokes.
Look at those flaps, y'all. That's 50% cord flaps.
It's a
How did that work?
He called it a variable airfoil wing.
Oh,
How did that work for him?
It flew great.
Really?
Think of the handle pressures.
That's what I was thinking.
I bet he didn't move the ailerons 7 or 8 degrees max.
Yeah, but not really. You look how much elevator he has.
Yes, the elevators is 20 and the flaps are 10 right now.
He had a half-A that called the Jolly Flapper. Was a smaller version of this. It flew very well too.
OS Max 35S in that?
No, that was a 19, I think, in that.
19.
Oh,
that one we just looked at.
Wasn't that big an airplane. And then here's one of him in later years, not too long before he passed.
Oh yes.
No, that's the one.
I've seen that old timer fly.
Yep.
Seen the
El
combat.
Diablo. I've seen that El Diablo fly.
Yeah. See the combat airplane in the front? I saw that fly, bro.
That was called a Satan, I think.
The
wasn't
Super
it?
Satan.
Super Satan. Okay, fair enough.
The one that's on leaning up against his left leg is called what's the name of that airplane?
Ghost? Was it the
No.
Galloping Ghost?
No. These are all combat airplanes. The one on his right leg is the Grease Lightning, and the Stingray is holding.
Okay.
I forgot the name of the one that's on his left leg, but that was the one he flew more than anything when I was a kid. He flew that one with the pale pink on the wings. That thing went like.
You think that was
that was called the Lethal Blast.
Was that picture from 2000?
Yeah, it was
Later?
a little after that when they
Little
first
after?
when
Yeah.
they first started doing the vintage combat days at Circle Burners. Not Circle Burner, Middlesex.
Oh.
I think
He-
what's the name?
He flew that El Diablo at Tucson, and
Yeah, he
I'd
did.
say 5 or 6 anyhow.
Yep, absolutely.
That's awesome.
And here's one for you guys. This was taken in our living room in the 50s.
What in the world is that? Is
That's
that
Well,
Reinhardt?
Mission.
That's Reinhardt.
That's Red Reinhardt.
Yeah.
It's a pusher flying wing. And you see that picture of the girl on the table behind him?
I do.
Yeah.
That's my sister. She's now 84.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that is so cool. So you saw that airplane fly?
I did not see that airplane fly.
That's a high aspect wing, dude. That's going to be hairy in the corners.
I don't think it
Mission
was.
was paying attention to him.
You
What's
might be,
Well, Adamission turned it around.
Yeah.
that's so. Bob, I can
Yeah.
see the it looks like ailerons. Was that the elevators?
That were the elevators, yeah.
Do you realize how much trouble that was?
Well, he was really a designer, you know. He
That
was
was trouble right there.
trouble, but he liked to try different things, you know. This was after his stunt wing that was published. This had to be like 56, I would think.
Oh, look at the Christmas tree. It's got icicles on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sister was a fanatic about putting tinsel on trees. And I was like, what was I at the time? I was like 9 years old or 8 years old. And I would want to put tinsel on the tree. And my mother would make her let me put tinsel on. But then when I went to bed, she'd rip all mine off and re-tinsel that area, you know, so.
That's called ADD.
And my sister still has ADD.
That's awesome. That's pretty good, Bob. Well done.
Who's got their Christmas tree up?
Not me. Not Colleen.
There you go. Here's one I read with his girlfriend, Joyce.
Colleen's making Christmas cards.
Joyce Maltmus.
Ours went up Halloween night, and then we got all the Christmas decorations up today.
Is that Red and Ginger?
No, that's Red and Joyce Malcolmus.
I do not know her.
And that little blonde kid, you know, hugging the girl, that's me.
You think that's 56 or 7?
Yeah, that's around there.
I hate to say this, Bob, but look where you got your head.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm not stupid.
Say nothing. Just don't talk about that.
Little boy, little
It
kid.
was innocent. It was
Enjoy
all
that.
innocent at that time.
Here's one I read much earlier, actually.
Oh,
That was
he ain't
probably-
18 years old right
That was
there.
probably 49 or 50.
14 or 13 there.
Check
Is that
that prop.
ignition engine, Bob? Is that ignition engine?
I think that's one of the early glows. And look at the prop. It's one of the yellow transparent
See-through
props.
prop. It's got a wire hanging out the right side there, you know, on the left side.
It may be ignition. I don't know.
It's got a plug in it, either early glow.
Look at the size of the elevators.
Huge.
Oh my goodness.
60 is 70-30 or thereabouts.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
He knew
Yeah.
it worked.
It was something.
That's cool, man. Well done.
And there's a lot of old time photos. Let's see. Here's a guy we all loved. An airplane of his, anyway.
I seen that airplane.
That's Ski Dombrowski. He did an airplane after this called the Lace Maker, which won concours at the Nats.
Man,
Yeah.
the paint job on that is definitely too much trouble.
Yeah, but it was flawless.
That's awesome. It's got a radio-looking cowling on it.
Yep.
Good flying airplane.
Upside down engine.
He was something. He was a great builder.
The prop. Okay.
Okay,
Great builder.
It's stuffed. Okay.
I'm sorry.
How many people can identify this guy?
My fault. I didn't know the wing was.
Is the other one stuffed too?
No.
Let's see if I can get this one up.
Well, I've seen that red, white, and blue one at a contest in him.
Well, that's in the books that we got.
Yeah, but I've seen it at the field flying.
Oh, I do have no idea who that
That's
is.
that's
Not
not a
Whiteley?
Derringer, is it? No.
Yeah, I'll give you a hint. He made it in his first nationals. He made the top 5.
Is that? I
I
know
don't have
it
a clue.
is.
I've never seen that picture before.
Put a clown suit on him.
In his first nationals, he made the top 5. I'll give
That's
you
not
one-
Howard Rush. There's
I'll
no
give you-
freaking
no, it's
way.
not him. And one more hint. It was the 1981 Nationals in Seguin.
Huh. I would have sworn it was Howard Rush.
It's not Dave Tribble.
That's Kirk Mullinex.
That's
Oh my goodness.
oh my goodness. I don't know him.
Well, he
Look
was a
at-
lot skinnier when I saw
Look
him.
at the elevator, John. That's got a huge elevator for the wing in that year.
Yeah. Well, it went that way for a while.
I
Look
like
how
how he
big
had
the flaps are.
he had
The
a
flaps are huge.
matching shirt. Pretty cool.
That's
Yeah.
I'll be darned.
That's Kirk Mullinex.
Well done. I did not know him.
I got a lot of obscure ones in here.
Yes, you do.
Kirk Mullinex was a heck of a builder.
He sure was. He's gone now. Okay. Here's one for you. What year and whose airplane?
Bob Whitney, 82.
Nope.
Bob Whiteley, 82.
Nope.
Okay, is that the guy out of Florida?
That's an Acromaster, isn't it?
Acromaster. I still say 82.
Nope.
Nope. Look at the muffler on it.
Is it Mike Pratt's
Nope.
or Scott?
Nope.
Huh. I don't know.
Nobody from SIG, huh?
Lou McFarland, 1974.
Lou McFarland. That's a Sphinx Acromaster is what that is.
That's what it is.
And what year, Bob?
74 at the Nats.
74. That's early. Dude, that's something.
There you go. Here's a nice, pretty airplane, and everybody should get this one, I would think.
Or not me. Come on, John, help us out.
It was
I don't know
published
that.
in Flying Model.
No, it's not a gypsy.
I can't even see what it says on it. CY kindness? I don't remember seeing that in Paul's books even.
That's Bobby McDonald's airplane at the 74 Nats.
Freaking no way.
It's got a lace job on the wing.
Look at them skinny little tires.
Yep.
That's Bob McDonald's? What engine you think in that year?
Probably
OS.
running back.
OS 35S?
No, probably a Tiger 46, but maybe not. I'm not sure.
Well, the muffler looked small on it, I thought.
See, what else we got here?
Man, oh man. Did you know Roland, Bob?
Oh, yeah, I know Rolly really well.
Is that right?
Oh, sure. Rolly was great.
He was an interesting guy. I sat down and talked to him for a long time at SIG.
A funny guy. Now, name all three. Name the people
Well,
who designed
that's
and built
Jim
all-
Lynch is on the bottom right.
Yes, it is.
That's Dennis Adamison's in the top center. And I don't have a clue on the other one.
And that's Archie Adamison's Diwa team.
Okay, I'll go with that.
That's 74 Nats also.
Jim Lynch's vote something. I forget.
Volunteer.
Volunteer.
Yeah.
Jim Lynch's.
Yes, it
Paul
was.
Taylor would have known that if
What
he
else?
was here.
You ever build that airplane, make sure you use 5/32 landing gear wire.
He ain't building that airplane.
Muted.
There you go. Here's one. This is a good one. This is going back to VSC 2, I believe.
Oh, Jim Lee, George Aldrich.
Yes, Jim Lee, bottom left. George Aldrich,
Lou Wolgast in the center with the orange.
Lou Wolgast in the center, and the right. That's a Nobler, but I don't recognize him.
That's Randy Cubberley.
That's Randy.
Oh, yeah.
That's Randy. Is he still around?
Yes,
Well, I
he's
know.
yes, he's around. I wouldn't have guessed that of Randy.
No.
Blue wool gas middle.
I don't know who the guy in the back is holding the Nobler. He
Yeah,
probably-
you knew him well. Don't tell me that nonsense. That was one heck of a fisherman right there.
Who, George?
Yeah.
That's George. Absolutely, George.
I know it's George, but I didn't know he was a fisherman.
Look, I touched his handle. He won with that one time too.
You're talking about Whiteley before. Here's one with Whiteley.
Is it?
Yeah, hold on.
Oh,
Chris
but
McMillan.
Gialdini's the bottom left. Bottom center's Gialdini. Whiteley left.
Gialdini and Chris McMillan.
Chris McMillan
and
on the right.
Dino Marcinelli or Marcinelli, whatever his name was in the back there.
I don't know him in the back, but that's Chris McMillan in the right side.
Now, I want you to look at something, okay? Look at Bob Gialdini's airplane and look at the length of from the flap, back of the flap to the leading edge of the stabilizer. Now look at the other ones.
Chris is long.
They cut a lot of what do you call it? Flap for that.
Chris is longer. Chris is longer.
We call those Olympic buttline specials.
Oh my gosh.
Whiteley's they're all longer, except for Gialdini.
Every one of them's got a longer tail moment, doesn't it?
Yeah, really long.
That's fun. Chris's is 3 inches longer, I bet.
You say cheating? Because they got away with it. Who cares? You know?
They couldn't beat a ringmaster anyhow.
Here you go. Here's a couple of guys that are neat guys.
Flying the ringmaster, by the way. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
I know the back one.
Ted
Mr.
Fancher?
Fancher.
Ted Fancher in the back, I think.
But I can't think of who the guy in the front is.
That's
Pete
Mikey
Peterson? Is it
Mikey Pratt?
That's Mikey
That's
Pratt.
Mike Pratt. Yeah, okay.
Well done. I'd have
Oh,
guessed
Mikey.
Pete Peterson.
Mikey Pratt.
Vico Chiefs, Fox 35s in the day.
Johnson 35 in Teddy's, and he won that year with that airplane.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've got a Chief kit out in the garage, a Richardson's Chief kit. And every time I open the box, I need to build this. It's awesome.
I flew Chiefs instead of Noblers. So I was a big Chief guy. That's what I flew early on. Here's one from a contest in Johnsville, Pennsylvania in 1974.
I was still in high school.
Wow. I graduated that year.
What in the world are we looking at here?
Well, a bunch of airplanes that were at that contest. The one in the front there is a Scorpio. That's Bill Simon's a Scorpio.
Okay.
That one in the back there's a Talon.
Is what?
A Talon, that white one, and right in front of that red airplane.
That's the actual original Talon. That's Dave Reese's airplane. And
See,
my
a
Genesis is sitting right next to it.
Look, just make a note of the gear fuselage mounted gears. Look how wide they were.
Yeah.
Flat looking gears.
That's a stunt machine, but it's not Gene Schaefer's. Schaefer's airplane is that Genesis on the far side there.
What's the blue one, Bob, on the far top?
I don't know whose that was. But that silver, that one next to it, the silver and with the little black stripes over the canopy, that's Dougie Stout's apparition. And he flew, like we talked about before, with the handle upside down.
Oh, we don't.
Yeah.
Check out them plaid pants in the back.
Yeah, I still see guys in the golf course dressed like that.
Okay.
Yeah, if I showed up with pants like that, I have to kick my own ass.
What the blue airplane? The blue airplane underneath the red. He's walking by it.
I don't know what that is.
I don't recognize that.
Whose ME-109 was that?
That's Joe Atwell's.
Pretty airplane.
The airplane in the back next to the orange airplane is Andy Lee's Sunshine.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
I like the looks on that Talon.
Talon's a great airplane. I got some pictures of the Talon. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see.
Look, there's some positive influences on a nose wheel airplane.
Yes, there is.
Let me see. We can get a good picture of the Talon.
while Bob's looking at for another picture, I've wanted to tell you, Bob, I did switch the on my P-51. I did move that needle valve on the other side.
What now?
The P-51 Mustang Stunner. We
Yeah.
talked about with the OS 35 Stunt that the needle valve was positioned so that it was too close to the muffler and it would burn my fingers. And I said, okay, is it okay to flip the needle valve control on the opposite side of the airplane?
Yeah.
And so I've got all that built in now. So we're going to try it out
That'll
tomorrow.
work fine. Here's the original Halon.
That tip, that
That
tip.
would look so cool in electric.
Is that your design, Hunt?
No, that's Dave Reese. I cut the wing for that though, which has a reflex. That's what they call polywog airfoil, and I did the test flights on that airplane, and it flew very well.
I'll be darned.
Builder. He was a great builder. Let's see what else we got here. He had another airplane here. He was pretty famous for called the Dazzler.
Yeah,
I remember hearing the name.
I do not know that airplane.
Here it is.
yeah, I
It's
do. That
not
was
a great,
really
not a
good
great
airplane.
picture, but it'll do. I had better pictures of it someplace. But like a helmet cowl on it, like a sweet ship.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh my word!
I always thought it looked like
I've
a
never
Genesis turned upside down.
Is that a centerline airplane, Hunt?
No, it's like Phil just said. It's kind of like an upside down Genesis.
Yeah, the tail looks like this. It looks like it's lower than the wing.
It is, yeah.
It is lower. Okay.
It's kind of like just upside down, built upside down. And
Yeah, he came to
too.
Winston with that
He built
airplane.
really
It
nice
was cool.
airplanes. He was a good builder. Excellent
He was a
builder.
good flyer too.
It was an okay flyer. Yeah, it wasn't the world's greatest flyer. Here's a nice shot. One of my favorite people ever. Maybe my
Must
favorite.
be Joe Gilbert.
Joe Gilbert.
Mhm.
This guy taught me more than any 10 people did. He was like
Was it Joe?
best man at my wedding. And
Oh, I know who that's got to be. Yep.
Billy Simons.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good looking airplane too.
That a Cobra?
You know,
A Cobra?
Yeah,
P-39.
Air Cobra. Yeah.
Well, it's got a top flight prop on it. That's got to be from 72 or 3 also.
Yeah, that was a
Callentine had a P-63.
It's way
of
bigger
its own
than
design at Vegas. It flew fairly well.
It's way bigger than that one.
Yeah.
Whoa, look at that. Blue bottoms. Isn't that something?
I flew that airplane.
What engine's that?
Fox 35.
Fox 35.
That was like 1960, 65, 66, someplace in there.
540-inch wing or thereabouts?
Yeah, it was a Arnie Stott foam flight wing, Nobler wing. They put
That's
big
pretty
on.
awesome. 9-inch nose, 13 tail, yada yada.
Yeah, probably 14, probably 14 3/4 too.
14 3/4.
There he is at the Nats in 74 with his Scorpio.
How do you remember all this stuff?
I don't know,
Just remember it.
And the guy he's next to him there with the pants, right to the right. That's Dave Reeves.
Skinny back then, weren't we?
Where was that,
Another one of
Bob?
those.
Where was
Another
that?
one of those really pretty.
That was
fly
Lake
boxes.
Charles, Louisiana. Billy
Lake
took
Charles.
Billy took 5th that year.
What'd you get?
I was 6th.
6th.
No, I was 6th that year. Let's see what else we got here.
I gotta roll out of bed at 4 a.m. I'm gonna duck out of here. I'll see you guys Monday.
Good seeing you, bud.
Take
You
care.
bet,
of yourself.
See you, man.
Here's one for
I'm
you.
out too. Bye, y'all.
See you, Joe.
Take care, Joe.
Everybody will get this one wrong to a degree.
Oh, wait a minute.
I know the airplane,
Crusader.
but I don't know who the. Yeah.
Let me think a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got a minute.
It's all right.
Suarez.
Oh, that's Suarez's P-38 sitting on the ground there behind it, though.
Yeah.
I can't come up with the name.
That's Harold Price.
All shucks. I should have known that.
Look at the tail. It's got antihedral in it, I believe.
Everybody gets this one wrong because they say, well, that was the retract one. No, this wasn't the retract one. This was the one just before the retract one. And I'll show you the retract one because I have pictures of it here.
That looks bigger than a Fox 35
That
airplane.
was a Merco 49.
There you go.
And here he is with the retract version, which was featured in,
Is that what Joe Dill built?
yes.
Holy crap.
Look
That's
at where that gear goes down.
look at that wing.
Um,
I ain't building that wing, dude. That's trouble right there.
That's probably
The stab-
1963.
The stab has the same shape. That's why it looks like it. You
You
know,
don't have a picture of the top side of that one, do you?
I don't know. I don't think so. He built that around an airplane he called the Valkyrie. And then it was later renamed the Ranger. I have a picture of the Ranger. And this is an interesting photo. It's a little
Didn't Paul Walker fly an airplane called a Ranger at Tucson a couple years ago?
I don't know.
Ranger.
That's the Valkyrie repainted to be the Ranger. Now, you know what? Can anybody? This will get you a steak dinner from me.
Got to be Jersey.
No, it's not Jersey.
Not
That's a very historical land site. Soon to be something much bigger and much different.
Look at the stabilizer elevator ratios. 60-40 at the very best. This front's a lot bigger.
This guy was some builder and some flyer. The site, this is in 1965 in New York. Now, it's just onto it's in Queens. So can anybody tell me what was built on the site that he's on there right now?
Trade Center. The Trade
Is that
Center.
where they're building the new stadium?
Trade Centers.
Go ahead, Phil.
The new stadium?
What stadium?
Oh, I can't remember the name of it, but
Shea Stadium.
Shea Stadium.
He's standing on about second base in Shea Stadium.
Look at the size of the flaps, Bob.
Yep.
Those are small flaps.
Yep. He was some builder.
Remarkable.
Gene Schaefer won the contest that day, though. So, see, do I have anything else of his here?
You got everything.
It's fun. You know, I got a lot of
It is. It's absolutely great.
old stuff.
You've been
I just
around a
applaud
while.
his memory. The man can remember everything. I can't remember what I had for lunch.
There you go. I showed this one not too long back, but I'll show it again.
Oh yeah, know who that is?
That's Van Loo?
Nope.
Nope.
That's Mike Stott.
Mike Stott.
That's the guy that actually designed it. I cannot figure out how he designed it. And he actually gave the cowl to Sig to make the cowl for the kit. But Van Loo got the credit. That's known as a Van Loo chipmunk, but Stott's the one who designed the darn thing.
Is that 68 or 9, Bob?
Yeah, this was about
Look at
I
the
didn't
lawn
ask
chair
him.
sitting there.
yeah, it was
That's
about 68.
okay. I guessed it pretty close. If I look at the clothes and the lawn chair, that's
He came in a East Coast swing for a few days and a couple of weeks. Stayed with Frankie Imbriaco, I think.
oh my goodness.
And
Frank's a good dude too. My goodness.
oh yeah, great. Let's see. Here's some
Is
older
that
ones.
the Zap guy?
No, the Zap guy is named.
Frank Imbriaco.
No, that's not right.
What's that?
No,
He's dead, but
the
I got
Zap
his phone
machine.
number.
The
Frank's
Zap
still
machine.
alive, I think.
Oh yeah, I talked to Frank yesterday.
What's the Zap guy's name? Had the airplane named Zap or something.
Oh, that's
that's
Steve
Busso.
Busso.
Steve Busso.
Yeah, Steve
Yeah,
Steve
he's still
Busso,
around.
yeah.
He's still
He's
around.
still
The
around.
Zap machine.
Here you go. Here's one
Steve
nobody.
Busso.
I grew up around this guy and Red and Larry. Those are three guys I grew up around.
I was thinking of Frank Tiano.
Yeah, that's a different guy. Yeah.
That's
That
not
looks like a
team.
humongous.
That's not team 58 or
No,
9.
that's got flaps.
Oh, that's
Never
earlier
mind.
than that.
50 is it?
Yeah. That's
What is
about
a B-26
52 or 53,
and
something
a
like that.
Stinson? That's a Stinson airplane sitting there.
Yeah. Stinson station wagon.
Stinson 108-3 would be my guess.
No.
You think that could be as early as 52?
Yeah. Maybe even 50 or 52, yeah.
When I was talking about Zap, Frank Tiano owned Zap, and he's dead.
Okay.
Well, he was one of the three partners.
Okay.
Yeah.
What airplane is that, Hunt? Do
That's
you
a
know
chief.
that airplane?
That's a Pollywog Chief, and the guy's name is
Oh, okay.
George Lieb.
I've heard that name. D. Hill talked about
Oh yeah,
George.
that's George Lieb.
D. Hill knew him.
Mm-hmm. And he was a fixture around my house with Red and Larry.
That right. Well, I have heard that name.
This one's a little melancholy for me because I'll show you why in a minute here if I can get to this. That's at a contest
Yak.
in 1953.
Sterling Yak.
At the Sterling Yak 9, and the guy next to it with the T-shirt on, that's my brother, who is now on his deathbed out in Wisconsin. He's not expected to live another couple of weeks.
Wow. Tell me the year again. 52?
At 53.
53.
Look at all the people.
Look at the people. Look at the people there, y'all.
Yeah.
Contest
Look at the
huge.
people.
A lot of kids.
Bob, how's your brother in Charlotte?
Well, he moved out to Wisconsin to be near my sister in a hospice till he passes.
Oh my goodness.
Well, that's just what it is, man. You know, it's all right. Just what it is.
Ain't none of us going to escape alive.
Sorry to hear.
Y'all figure that out.
And none of us get out of here alive. That's for sure.
That's so cool. I saw a Yak 59 Yak fly a couple of days ago. There's two guys here in the club built them. That's a cool little airplane too, at the Fox 35, just to hear it beller and fly around.
Yeah.
I learned how to fly inverted. In fact, I learned how to fly the pattern on a Sterling Yak 9.
When's the last time you built a
57
Sterling kit, John?
About 1980.
40 years ago? There's a reason they went broke.
1984, 83, somewhere in
There's
there.
a reason Sterling went broke. Those kits were horrible to build.
Die Crush. What do you
Yeah.
Two P-38s. I don't
Different
recognize
designers.
one of them.
Well, the
Different
designer on the
designers,
left told me red one. Here's an interesting story because I talked to it's Billy Suarez. I talk to him every now and then. He's still around.
Which one's Suarez, John?
Suarez is on the red one.
left.
On the left. Okay.
And the guy on the right, I don't know who it is. And I asked Billy, I said, who's the guy on the right? He says, I don't know. He says, he just built my airplane, but I don't know who he was.
I'll be darned. Man, that's a lot of trouble to build twin booms and still pull from the center engine.
That's something. And it flew good, too. It flew really, really well. And I'll tell you something else. This is a feather in my cap for me. He was flying that airplane at Far Hills in 1966, 65. When I won, I beat him, won my first contest in stunt flying against him. He took second. I was flying a Chief and he was flying that.
That's a good looking airplane, dude.
And I felt like I'd done something wrong because he was like a hero stunt flyer. And I thought he was going to beat me up, but he came over and gave me a big hug and congratulated me. I'm like, really
Well
nice
done.
guy. Super guy.
Super. That's a high aspect wing look like a little bit, you know.
Higher than usual that people put on.
There you go.
Not,
I agree.
This is a really good buddy of mine.
Oh yeah, sunshine.
Sunshine. Now look how much elevator throw it has.
Yeah.
That's
Look at
45
that.
degrees right there.
That's those Vico horns we used.
and it's about the same size on the flap if you look at that tip there.
Yep, they were 1-to-1. And that's why we got those airplanes that crank around corners. So because it had a lot of speed in the system and a lot of movement. Got a lot of movement in very fast. And then we put the ballast point slightly forward to stabilize. And that's how we all flew back then.
It's probably around 18%
And
balance.
the wing in that airplane was supposed to be the wing in the first Genesis. And I decided to do something a little different. And I gave him that wing and he built that airplane.
Look at those wheel pants, though. That looks like
Fender skirts.
Those are
Gear
called
doors.
spats, aren't they?
That was gear doors.
Looked like those
That looks
cookies
a-
we used to get, you know? Those white cookies that were so.
I'm building something that has wingtip. Well, I mean, wheel pants to look very much like that. Looks like a teardrop.
Don't they call those spats, Bob?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like little. I don't know what you call them. That's
Look
bad.
like gear doors, what I'd
Gear
call
set.
that.
Oh, look here.
That's Beth England. Now she was Miss Old Time Stunt at the very first Old Time Stunt contest,
Be darned.
and Andy had such a crush on her, and so did everybody in those days. You know, that was at Union. It had to be 1973 at Union. Huh,
Oh,
cool stuff.
Oh, this is cool, Bob. I love it when you do this.
Yeah, well, again, all these photos are available to anybody for free. If you send me a 4 gig thumb drive and return postage, I will put them on and send all. I've got over 5,600 photos or something, and anybody can have them that wants them.
That's great, but I wouldn't know who half these people are.
No, it's just nice to have the. Here's one for you, Joe. This is an air. You've heard of Bob Barron's Avanti?
Oh yeah.
Well, this predates Bob Barron's Avanti by quite a few years, and well, that's not a very good picture. Hold on a second. Let's see if I get a better picture of it. Yeah, it's a little better. I did this long before Bob Barron did his Avanti.
Oh, look at that.
And look how short the flaps are.
Yeah.
We were all doing it back in those days, you know, shorter flaps. Darn good.
Okay, guys, I'm going to close down the YouTube channel for the after party. I appreciate you guys watching on YouTube. If you'd like to be a part of this, you have to be a member of Stunt Hangar, and you just go there and there'll be a link at the bench. Please like and subscribe and share it with your friends. And I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you Monday for the hangout. Fair winds, high winds. What's all that?
Oh my goodness.